What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy middle of the week, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. That's right. Happy hump day, everybody. Hope you're having a good one so far. Temperature-wise, not too bad today. Going to be mid-60s. Can't complain about that. Tomorrow going to be colder, so enjoy today. Because I think we're going to drop down into like near 50 tomorrow. But we'll get you up to date on that weather and all that here in just a little bit. Of course, got a couple things to discuss for you. We're going to chit-chat this hour with myself. A couple things to talk about. Of course, yesterday was Declaration Day for candidates hoping to run in the upcoming city municipal election. So we now know who are the eligible candidates for the mayoral race and for our 5 city council races that'll be up for grabs here in this upcoming municipal election. We'll talk all about this at this hour, the candidates running, and we got like a 4-way race for mayor. I think there's a 4-way race in Ward 4. Matter of fact, every ward has a choice as far as one or 2 candidates, except I believe Ward 5. Angela Moore, the incumbent, is the only one running in that district, or ward, I'm sorry. Everyone else there will vote for a one or the other. Some have more than one race, but more than 2 candidates, actually. Like Ward 4 does, and I think one of the other wards has 3. But we'll go over all that, the names and all that stuff this hour. And of course, our plan will be to reach out to all the candidates, invite them to come on to the show, and chat with you, the listeners, about why you should vote for them. So we'll do that opportunity between now and Election Day here in March. I also want to remind folks, Leadership Roswell Alumni Association will be hosting a candidate forum on February 1st. I believe I'll have more information on that as we get closer to the date, but I know for a fact those folks will be reaching out to all the candidates and get them lined up for a candidate forum. If you've seen the candidate forums done by Leadership Roswell in the past, it's very similar to that. It's going to be taking place, I think everything's locked down for the RSD Pueblo Auditorium to do all that February 1st there. Time and everything to be determined, but plan for it somewhere around 6 o'clock that day, that evening. And we'll have, hopefully, all the candidates will agree to participate and be involved in that. So, but that'll be coming February 1st. We'll tell you a lot more about that between now and then as details come out and more information becomes available there. So, but this hour we will talk about that. A couple other things as well. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15 today, we're going to have Andrea Moore join us. She's executive director with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. We'll get an update from her on what's happening in the chamber and, of course, talk about what's new in 2022. Of course, legislative session is hot on the heels as well. Of course, the chamber typically participates quite a bit in the legislative session. I think a lot of that, once again, due to COVID, is going to be scaled back because especially, 60 days more so than even 30 days. But even in the 30 days, they have time to schmooze and all that. And they usually have like big little invites where each entities invite legislators and things out of evening events. And there's usually one for all the chambers and things like that. But I think a lot of that's being put on the back burner this year. But we'll get an update from Andrew and all that stuff and everything as they get ready for the upcoming legislative session as well. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Leslie Carrera or someone, might be Leslie, might be more than just Leslie, join us from the Roswell Refuge, get an update on what's happening over at the Refuge course. Hopefully they had a great holiday season here. Usually that time of year is a pretty busy time for the folks at the Roswell Refuge who, for folks that do not know, they help victims of domestic violence and really all people of domestic violence and offenders, everything. They have programs for all of that. But we'll get an update from Leslie on what's happening over at the Refuge here about 9:15 or so this morning. Plus, we'll have all of your normal features that include regular features. Normal? That's debatable. Regular features that include your local town hall, local news, town hall news. Of course, we'll have your Chaves County sports update this Wednesday, as always, brought to you by DSI. And so Eric Butler gets up to date that and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. That's the plan. A couple things I do want to mention. I noticed this on Facebook this morning. The Roswell Independent School District, and we shared the link on our Facebook page as well. But the Roswell Independent School District they've got a survey out. They would love the public's input on. It's available in English and in Spanish. If you go to the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page there, I've shared it on our wall. I'm sure it's on the school's wall. I saw it on Hope Morales, the school board president's wall, and shared it from there. So either way, you'll get it there. But it looks like the survey I haven't done the survey, but I clicked on the link to kind of see what this one's about. And the intent of this survey is to collect information on topics related to facility planning. The data will assist the steering committee on developing options for to be presented to the community later. So basically, they're wanting input on facility planning. So it's infrastructure type stuff with the RSD. It looks like there. So please, I imagine parents, they're seeking your input, but our community, especially maybe people that plan on having kids in the Roswell Independent School District in the future. Maybe they don't have them yet, but the plan is to have some soon. But either way, you'll find the link on our Facebook wall and various places there. Deadline, by the way, they do have a deadline on when they like this back by. January 26th is the date on that for that survey there. All right, it is 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front on the way, so get ready for cooler temperatures by tomorrow. Today looks fairly mild, though. We'll be in the mid-60s, and we have high pressure overhead, so we'll get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and chilly with lows in the upper 20s to low 30s, and then quite a bit cooler on Thursday. We keep the sunshine, but our highs should stay around 50, and then we're back to the 60s Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 28 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 41%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Today, another nice one. Sunny skies. Highs expected to be mid-60s, 65 officially. Winds will be out of the north today, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Later shifting to the south this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 30 degrees. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. As I mentioned earlier, cooler for you Thursday. Sunny skies tomorrow, but highs only expected in the low 50s, 53 what they're saying right now. Winds will be out of the north, 10 to 15 miles per hour, later shifting to the southeast tomorrow afternoon. Thursday night, mostly clear skies with an overnight low of 24. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Fortunately, we warm back up Friday. Sunny skies, highs once again back into the mid-60s on Friday. 65 once again with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, clear skies, overnight low of 34, so relatively warm overnight compared to other nights this week. And then Saturday, we're going to be just pleasant. Sunny skies, highs right around 70 degrees. So spring-like, even though it's still January. Partly cloudy Saturday night, overnight low of 33. Cooler for Sunday. We'll go from 70 on Saturday back down to low 50s on Sunday. Mostly sunny, highs near 53. And then for Monday, when you head back to work and everything, it'll linger in the low 50s, 52 Monday, and then 56 Tuesday of next week. So enjoy the 60s today and Friday, and that 70 on Saturday, because in between all that, we'll be down in the 50s there, it looks like. It is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's see. Oh, something else I want to mention here. Vitalant, United Blood Service, they formerly United Blood Services. Of course, they've released their January 2022 blood drive schedule. And here for folks in Roswell, their first blood drive won't be taking place till January 14th, which is next Friday. They're going to be at the Vitalant office here in Roswell from 11 to 3. However, folks in Carlsbad and Artesia don't have to wait that long. Matter of fact, Carlsbad, if you're in Carlsbad or going to Carlsbad today, they're going to be doing a blood drive at Carlsbad Medical Center. They're going to have the blood mobile out front there from 1 to 5 p.m. And then folks in Artesia tomorrow, they're going to be at Central Valley Electric, their facility on 13th in the Jack Case Community Room, and that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. there in Artesia tomorrow. If you'd like to get an appointment for either of those blood drives, either in Carlsbad today or Artesia tomorrow, call or text Stephanie with Vitalant, 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. And then, like I said, folks in Artesia, or folks in Roswell here, January 14th will be our first blood drive here. And again, it'll be at the Vitalant office there over by Loveless Hospital from 11 to 3. After that in Roswell, it'll be Tuesday the 18th. They're going to be once again back at the Vitalant office from 1 to 3. On Thursday, January 20th, Church on the Move there and there for you will be hosting a blood drive from 11 to 3. The Blood Mobile on Tuesday, January 25th, will be at the Chaves County Admin Building from 1:30 to 5. And then they'll do one more blood drive at the Vitalant office on January 25th here in Roswell from 11 to 2:30. To get appointments for any of those dates, call or text Stephanie with Vitalant, 575-840-8178. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then on the other side, we'll talk about the Declaration Day for candidates in the upcoming municipal election. We'll go over that, talk about who's running where, and of course, encourage you to get educated and get out and vote when early voting and all that gets underway. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll talk all about the upcoming municipal election on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage.
you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
I am Sandra Stewart, Chaves County Assessor.
And I'm Charlotte Andrade Gurley, Chaves County Treasurer.
2021 property tax bills will be late this year due to questions on the ballot for Elida, Dexter, and Lake Arthur school districts.
Property tax bills will be mailed out December 1st. The first half payment is due December 10th and delinquent after January 10th, 2022.
For any questions, please contact our offices.
Thank you.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports. Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A U.S. quarter has 119 grooves at its edge. A dime has one less groove. So by definition, that makes a dime less groovy. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're having a great one here. So, for those just tuning in, yesterday, the city of Roswell had candidacy declaration day for the upcoming municipal elections, which will take place on the 5th of March. We have the city of Roswell mayoral race will be part of this municipal election. Also, each ward on the city council will have one seat available for election here in this upcoming municipal election as well. For those who don't know, city council has 10 members sit on it, 2 from each ward, and of course, as the head city councilors and the mayor serve there on the council. But so each ward has 2, and so every other election cycle, there's 5 incumbents, 5 that are not up for election, 5 that will be up for election here in this upcoming race. So let me give you the skinny on who's running for what and where and who and all that what sits here. Now, for the race for mayor, you will have 4 choices in this upcoming municipal election. Mayor Dennis Kentai is running once again for re-election, so he will be on the ballot, along with Mayor Kentai, the incumbent. Tim Jennings is running. He's a former state legislature and county commissioner, current Chaves County flood commissioner. He's running for mayor. Also running is Guy Malone. He's a magazine copy editor and community volunteer. And former real estate and business owner Ava Tejas also running for mayor as well. So there's 4 seats there running, or 4 people running for mayor there. Ward 1, the seat that was held by Jacob Roebuck, owner of Roebuck Entertainment. He is not running for re-election. He's done. So you're going to have a new face in that seat coming up here. As far as folks running on that, there's 2 people running for the Ward 1 seat there. They are Christina Arnold, nonprofit director. She ran for city council in 2020. Also running for that position is James Edwards. He's currently on the Roswell Independent School District School Board, the Board of Education. He's also a member of Eastern New Mexico University's as a student advisor there at ENMUR. So that's what you got in Ward 1. Ward 2, which covers primarily the northeastern part of the city. There you have, was it 2 or 3? I think 3 in that race. That's a three candidate race there. Running in there will be Margaret Kinnard, who is currently the city council there in Ward 2. She was appointed to that position after the former person moved and had to step down. So the mayor named Margaret the replacement. She's now running on her own as for that seat there. So Margaret's running. Also running, and of course she's a Leadership Roswell director there, program director there. Running against her will be Pioneer Bank Vice President and Marketing Director and a community volunteer as well, Juliana Halverson. Also running will be retired printer and retired printer Joseph Peter Horn. So you got Joseph Peter Horn, Juliana Halverson, and Margaret Kinnard running there in Ward 2. For Ward 3, which is primarily the western central portion of the city, with some extensions and, jarring, twists and turns there. But incumbent Judy Stubbs, she's running for re-election there. Running against her will be Edward Lee Hildebrand. He's the chief financial officer for Crumlin Auto Group. He also ran back in 2020 in Ward 2, so I guess he's moved. So now he resides in Ward 3. So, but he's going to be running against incumbent Judy Stubbs there for Ward 3. Ward 4 is like the mayoral race. You got a four-person race there in Ward 4. Running there will be the incumbent, Daniel Lopez. He's an independent insurance agent. Vying against him will be rancher and former state legislature and county commissioner Robert Korn. Also running will be real estate agent and businesswoman Alicia Gilmore. And then I said wrong. There's 5 people running, 4 in the incumbent. My mistake. I did my math wrong. So Alicia Gilmore's one. Robert Korn, the other one. David Lopez. New Mexico Department of Transportation and business manager Darrell W. Johnson is running, and also self-employed businessman Joe R. Green also running as well. So you got a five candidate race going there in Ward 4. So that should be an interesting one to keep tabs on here over the next couple months here. And then, like I mentioned earlier, in Ward 5, incumbent Angela Moore, she is running for re-election. She's the only person that declared candidacy there in Ward 5. So
that's lucky.
So she will be running unopposed there. So that's the lineup for this upcoming municipal election. If you're thinking, what ward do I live in? If you're not sure, you can find out very easily. Go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov. They've got the ward maps there, and you can see all of where the lines are and where you go and where most of us, it's going to be pretty much the same. It might be a little different for a few. Again, check out the website, the city's website, to find out your wards if you're unsure about that. And if you are one of the groups that did change, you definitely want to check up on that. The other thing I ask of all of you, and early voting and all that is not far away.
Just vote in general.
Just vote in general, but and I'll give you all those dates here in a minute. But vote educated.
Ooh.
This is the one. This municipal election, these races at the city level and at the county level, these are the races you should be paying attention to. These are. I'm not saying you should not pay attention to some and not the others, but we as people, society, we put. We'll we all know who we run, for president, and, we all got our thoughts and opinions and kind of already, most of us have kind of, you steer one way or another here. And I'm not saying that's not important. You should do all that. Do that, please. Go find the people that support the things you believe in and do that. But we will spend all that time scouring Facebook and everything to find goofy memes on the people you support or the people you don't support and all this. But the real impact, the biggest impact on your day-to-day lives are the decisions that are being made at the county level, at the city level, at the municipal level. These are the levels that your day-to-day life are much more greatly impacted than what a national politician on the news does today. And we seem to be more, quote unquote, informed on those levels. And I say that, depending on where you get informed, whether you're really informed or not. But we tend to spend more time doing that. And then when it comes to local elections, it's either like, oh, I'm buddies with so and so, I'll vote for them, or I saw a lot of their signs. They had a lot of signs. They must have more money. Therefore, since they got more money, means more people back them, which means I'm going to vote for them.
So I'm going to vote for them.
That I wish I was joking when I said people do that, but they absolutely do that kind of stuff. And I say throw all of that out the window. Do your research. And I'm not saying you have to go on some kind of fact-finding mission and all of this, but there's going to be multiple ways and opportunities for you to learn about the candidates running for this upcoming municipal election. Like I said, listen to this radio show. That will be one. I'm going to offer up opportunities for all these candidates to come on the show and speak and talk to you about why they're running and why you should vote for them. Listen to those. See what they say. Take what they have to say and listen to it. As I mentioned earlier, Leadership Roswell Alumni Association will be hosting their municipal election candidate forum on February 1st. And go out to that. Watch it. We'll have it live streaming video. Once again, we're going to be doing that on demand. Tune into that. Go to the event. See, and I'm going to tell you this. I know I shouldn't because of the business we in, but go to the event first. That if you have the ability to go to the event on February 1st, go there because you're in the room. You're seeing everything. Granted, we cover it pretty well, and you can, as far as view, but when you're in the room, you don't see what's going on off camera. And what I mean by that is, generally speaking, the person talking's on camera, but the other people sitting nearby or you know what I'm saying, there aren't necessarily, you don't get to see the reactions. You don't get to be in the room and read the room on how people are taking it sometimes. You miss that element a little bit while watching it on video. Now, if you're working or busy, whatever, and you're like, I can't go there. I got dinner and 27 kids, and I'm not wrangling. Okay. Then turn on to ksvptv.com, go there, and we'll have it up, and you can put on your computer or phone or wherever you watch that stuff, and we'll have it for you there. But if you're able, go out to the event. Usually the Roswell Daily Record, I'm sure they'll do this. They do usually a write-up with each of the candidates, asking them questionnaires and trying to get a gauge on their thoughts and beliefs.
The last one was pretty good.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Utilize all of these tools to learn about your candidate. And better yet, if your candidates do have, I know with the municipal election, it's not as highfalutin as when you get to higher levels of election, when you get to partisan elections and that people start having websites and all kind of stuff. You're not going to see as much of that here at this level, but you certainly will. I'm sure some of these candidates have a Facebook page or some type of way that you can communicate with them. If you're like, hey, I saw your first part, like you said, what do you think about this? And, do your education, ask questions, view, watch these events, participate in these events, and then whether you vote early, beginning February 1st, or vote on Election Day, March 1st, or some absentee ballot or whatever, and I'll give you the dates here in a minute on all that, you're voting educated, informed. That's the part that really, really gets under my skin is when you go to somebody at that level and they say, I voted for so-and-so. Okay, why did you vote for so-and-so?
Because I liked them.
And the answers you get are uninformed, unimpeded, and I hate that. Now, if they're saying because I like them because of this, this, and this, and if I disagree with this, this, and this, but at least, I can respect that. I'm like, all right, you believe that, I get you. At least you know what you want. I hate people that are voting just because they're pulling levers or filling in ovals or whatever.
I love filling in those bubbles.
I hate that, and people do that, and it's infuriating. But anyway, all right, so I gave you all the who's there. Now let's give you the wins.
The wins.
And all that stuff here. Again, they're on Election Day itself, that will be March 1st. Polls will open at 7 a.m., close at 7 p.m. They're going to have, just like they do in other municipal and other elections, local, national, and otherwise, they're going to have the voter convenience centers for this upcoming election. All voters in the city of Roswell can vote at any of these locations, regardless of where they live. Those locations will be the Roswell Boys and Girls Club at 201 South Garden, St. Mark's Lutheran Church, 2911 North Main Street, West Country Club Church of Christ at 700 West Country Club, Waymaker Church at 202 South Sunset, the Chaves County Clerk's Office at 1 St. Mary's Place, and NMU Roswell Campus in the Union Building, 48 University Boulevard. Those are going to be the locations for the voting convenience centers on March 1st, Election Day. Absentee voting begins Tuesday, February 1st. Applications for absentee ballots may be obtained only from the office of the municipal clerk. The last day to mail absentee ballots is Friday, February 25th. The municipal clerk will accept completed absentee ballots delivered by mail or in person by the voter casting the absentee ballot by a member of the voter's immediate family or by the caregiver of the voter until 7 p.m. February 25th, 2022. As far as early voting goes, early voting on paper ballots counted by the Dominion Vote Tabulator will be conducted in the office of the municipal clerk at City Hall there, 425 North Richardson, during regular hours and days of business beginning Tuesday, February 1st. That'll be Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., except Monday, February 21st, which is a City of Roswell holiday, and beginning on Saturdays on February 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Alternate voting locations will also be at the Chaves County Clerk's Office, Area D, there at 1 St. Mary's Place. That'll be beginning February 14th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., except Monday the 21st, which is a Chaves County holiday. I believe, is that Martin Luther King Day? I believe the 21st of February. That sounds in my head. That sounds about, or the President's Day. I think it's Martin Luther King.
If it's February, are you talking about February 21st?
February 21st, correct.
Yeah, there's no holiday on that day usually.
Well,
I would know because that's my birthday.
Oh, well, it's a city-county holiday. Maybe it's
really?
For Tanner.
Just for me?
Maybe. I'll check a calendar and look, but
let me look.
It is the 21st. Hold on, I'm getting a text that'll probably tell me. Andrew's here, by the way.
Okay, I'll go let her in real quick.
All right. Again, and so they'll have the ultimate voting, early voting place at the Chaves County Clerk's Office February 14th, beginning February 14th, 8 to 5, except they're on the 21st, which is a holiday. Beginning Saturdays, you can vote at the Chaves County Clerk's Office beginning February 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So like I said, that's the deal with all of that.
It's going to be President's Day.
Ah, President's Day.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
That's never been a holiday.
Ah, well, you have to share your birthday with the presidents this year, Tanner. My apologies there. So that is that's the skinny for the upcoming municipal election here. It's so let it be written, so let it be done. Yes, we have the 4 mayoral candidates running for mayor. Ward 1, you've got 2 candidates. Ward 2, you have 3 candidates. Ward 3, you have 2 candidates. Ward 4, you have 5 candidates. And Ward 5, you have just the incumbent running for re-election, unopposed there. Again, if you missed any of the information I'm talking about here and would like more information about the procedures, all of that stuff, the City of Roswell's website has everything you need to learn about that. Roswell-nm.gov. If you want to learn more about that, go to the Roswell City Services tab. And then when that comes up, you see the city government. Go right over to the city clerk's tab there. There you'll find all the information about this election, the stuff I just shared with you. And, of course, if you have any other questions like requesting absentee ballots, things like that, you'll find all the links right there at the City of Roswell's website page there that I just pointed you to. And there we go. We'll just, it's on, and then it's going to be getting fast and furious, I think, over the next 2 months here, definitely, especially as we got early voting, really, about 3 weeks away or so. And then about a little month and 3/4 away from this election. It's going to be a quick turnaround an election cycle here. But get informed, do your homework, and then go vote. That's the rules. Do your homework first, though. Please. That's the thing. People, if you vote passionately for the people that you believe in, I wholeheartedly support that. But don't come at me and be like, why'd you vote for him? Well, I like the guy. Okay, wonderful. Why do you like the guy? What is it that this person's doing that you like so much? If you can't answer that, then don't vote. That's my opinion. 7:42. Let's go ahead and pause for some local news here, and then your Kim Commando update. We'll also take care of your Chaves County sports update here, along with your town hall business update for this hour. Quick commercial break as well. So we'll get all that knocked out here now. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia Police Department is inviting the public to the city's public library on January 14th for Nerf Wars. The Artesia Police Department will be there Friday, January 14th, to participate in a Nerf battle with any Artesia students grades 6 through 12. Nerf guns will be provided by the library staff. Anyone invited to attend the fun event from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Also at the Artesia Police Department, Sergeant David Bailey has been promoted to Sergeant of Patrol. A ceremony was held just before the holidays. Bailey reportedly went through a rigorous assessment and was selected by the points he accumulated throughout the entire testing process. The state's largest electric utility is appealing a recent decision by regulators to reject a proposed merger with the U.S. subsidiary of global energy giant Iberdrola. PNM Resources announced it filed its notice of appeal with the New Mexico Supreme Court this week. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Today, the mother of all conspiracy theories. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. A startup microchip company called Disruptive Subdermals has developed a tiny microchip that's implanted just under the skin on the top of your hand. The chip is pre-programmed to hold all the details of your COVID vaccine history, a kind of electronic COVID passport of sorts. The company also manufactures low-cost handheld scanners for business, public places, and anywhere that requires you to be vaccinated. And there's more. The company's working on a similar chip that measures your body to detect fever. Now, this story in and of itself is not a conspiracy theory. It's real. But when you combine it with the biblical stories of the mark of the beast, or any of that, you indeed have the mother of all conspiracy theories. If you'd like to read more, just Google the company. It's called Disruptive Subdermals. Its CEO says that the chip is coming, and nothing is able to stop it. Get more breaking tech news at Commando.com. If you've ever wanted to make your home feel safer, there's no better time than now. Right now, my friends at Simply Safe are giving my listeners access to their New Year's holiday deals. 20% off their award-winning home security, and your first month is free when you sign up for interactive monitoring. I love Simply Safe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the instant you need it. Simply Safe was even named the best home security system of 2021 by U.S. News & World Report. Customize the system for your home online in minutes and get free custom recommendations. Plus, no long-term contracts or commitments, but you have to hurry. Take 20% off your Simply Safe system, and your first month is free when you sign up for the interactive monitoring service. Visit simplysafekim.com. Again, that's simplysafekim.com for 20% off your system. simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front on the way, so get ready for cooler temperatures by tomorrow. Today looks fairly mild, though. We'll be in the mid-60s, and we have high pressure overhead, so we'll get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and chilly with lows in the upper 20s to low 30s, and then quite a bit cooler on Thursday. We keep the sunshine, but our highs should stay around 50, and then we're back to the 60s Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome to DSI, New Mexico's business technology leader. We help you digitally transform your business to do more, faster, and more secure. Selecting DSI gives you access to the world's best technologies, award-winning local technicians, and our commitment to the New Mexico communities we serve. One local source for all your technology products, services, and the personalized support you can only get from DSI.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Road trips were the order of the day for the big school basketball teams from our area that were in action last night, and really none of them turned out well. The best showing was the Roswell boys losing narrowly at Lovington 52-50. Roswell actually led by 8 early in the fourth quarter, still led 50-46 before Lovington rattled off the last 3 buckets of the game. Jason Lackey had 10, Josh Estrada 10, Emiliano Boria had 9 for the Coyotes. Meanwhile, this was not nearly as good. The Goddard Rockets playing at Hobbs. Hobbs won that one 85-37. And the Roswell girls were in action on the road as well, losing at Portales. The Rams win that one 52-34. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. OPEC and allied oil-producing countries decided Tuesday to pump more oil to the world economy amid hope that travel and demand for fuel will hold up despite the rapid spread of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. The 23-member OPEC alliance said it would add 400,000 barrels per day next month, sticking with a plan to slowly restore cuts in output made during the pandemic. The Ford Motor Company says it will nearly double the annual production of its electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck based on a high number of advanced reservations. The company said Tuesday that it will be able to build at a rate of 150,000 pickups per year at its electric vehicle factory in Dearborn, Michigan by the middle of next year. On Wall Street, the Dow up 214 points, the Nasdaq down 210, and the S&P 500 down 3 points. With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
I am Sandra Stewart, Chavez County Assessor.
And I am Charlotte Andrade Gourlay, Chavez County Treasurer.
If someone is pressuring you to sell your property at a reduced price because you are delinquent on your taxes, beware.
If you're a delinquent, please contact the Chavez County Treasurer's Office and we will work with you to bring your account current. Please note that any real property 3 years delinquent can be auctioned off by the state of New Mexico.
For any questions, please contact our offices.
Thank you.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell or call 622-4455.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Having trouble keeping up with the conversation? Here on Earth Hearing Center can help. Here on Earth is locally owned and operated and have been serving Southeast New Mexico since 1955. Let their experience help you with a free hearing assessment. If you do need a hearing device, they will guide you through every step of the process. They accept all types of insurance, including Medicaid, and all of their devices are made right here in the USA. Call and schedule your appointment today, 575-622-0375, or come by 2800 North Main, Suite 2, across from Target in Roswell. Here on Earth Hearing Center, get back in the conversation.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The world's oldest chewing gum dates back to at least 5,000 years. After chewing it, they stuck it at the bottom of their desk. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:53. I just stuck a big old wad of Big League Chew right up under there. So that's what I chew, Big League Chew, because I still eat like a 7-year-old. Now, don't act like when you were kids, if someone said, here's a thing of bubble yum, or here's this big pouch of grape Big League Chew, you're reaching for the Big League Chew every time. That's just
100%.
Yeah, because you can get a big hunkin' wad where it's hanging out of your mouth, and yeah, you want to look like the cool baseball player, but you're too young to
understand what's really going on.
So you got the Big League Chew right there. But anyway, so speaking of sports, though, let me give you the latest what's happened in the last 24 hours and what is the saga of naming the Washington football team. Now, yesterday during the show, they announced for the Groundhog Day, by the way, the second is the day that they're announcing the new team name. They alienated a bunch of fans that wanted Red Wolves as the name of the logo. That was like a lot of people were like, hey, if we're going to, Red Wolves, that seemed the one that most people online were kind of digging. But they did debunk that one. And now everyone's mad saying, well, they didn't listen to us. And this is where dumb fans are dumb fans. Washington does many things to screw up, and I'll give them all the credit for that in the world. But this one's not on them. That one, you can thank the Minnesota Timberwolves for. The Minnesota Timberwolves have locked down like any wolf variation thereof.
Oh, wow.
And so you got to pay them lots of money to get red wolves. So they weren't willing to do that apparently. So that's out. Now what they did yesterday is when they released this, they've been doing a video series called Making the Brand. And they've been every couple months leaking out little videos on the process of coming up with this name. Well, the final episode is what aired yesterday, and they ended it with saying we're going to announce the date, the name on the 2nd of February, Groundhog Day. But in that, they kind of said, well, we're not using this, and they show during the video, they have the uniform and the helmet that they're going with, and they're showing it, and in the video, they're showing it to Redskin alum like Joe Gibbs, and showing Joe Gibbs like, oh, that looks good, and of course Ron Rivera, the head coach, they show him and he's like, oh, that looks good. And a couple foreign, Doug Williams, who's actually part of the organization as a scouting department, but former Super Bowl quarterback, and we all know the Doug Williams story. They show him and he's like, oh, that looks clean and all this. So they're doing that move and they're blurring out like the helmet and they're blurring out certain. And they teased, that video, and then they teased a little uniform thing of just parts of the uniform. And, of course, they're keeping the burgundy and gold, but there's one picture that's got black and white in it with striping. And everyone's losing their mind over that. So that's one thing everyone's losing their mind over. What's that black and white doing there? I like it. It's cool. What's up? That's different. They had gold stars on the uniform somewhere. So they're all leaning, okay, it's going to be Commanders or Admirals or
Patriots or something like that. Well, it can't be the Patriots.
Yeah, that one's already been taken.
Yeah.
And so everyone's, okay, it's definitely going to be Commanders or Admirals or something like that. So this is the scuttlebutt going on right now. Well, here's where the sleuths, like, you know how those people, like, get on and, like, do Tiger King, and they Tiger King every stupid frame of every video, and, like, well, if you see, well, the Washington faithful have gone through that video with a fine-tooth comb. And here's what they're coming up with, okay? In the and there's a video where they're pulling the helmet out of the box there, and they blur it out. Well, in the reflection on the window behind Ron Rivera, you can see a big gold W that's on that helmet. Ooh. That's in the reflection in the window. So they're going with like a University of Washington big W on there. So I don't know if this is. And I'll get to that in a minute. I told you it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. I don't even know if I can explain in the next 3 minutes. Then there's like Easter eggs in there where they're saying they're flashing through computer screens, and twice they see Red Tails in there. So there's a Red Tails faction in there saying it's going to be Red Tails.
Okay.
There's the Commander Admiral group that with the stars and all that. And then here's the clincher that kind of makes me think this is what the name's going to be. Right now, if you go on your computers and you type in www.washingtonadmirals.com, it redirects back to the Washington football team website. If you type in WashingtonCommanders.com or WashingtonRedTails.com or any of these other variations, WashingtonArmada.com, none of them redirect back to the Washington football team website.
Ooh.
Just Washington Admirals does.
Admirals. Ooh.
So that's kind of where they're at right now on all of this stuff. Now, second level weirdo conspiracy theory. People are like, those are red herrings. They intentionally put that W in the reflection so they would misdirect us. Or the Red Tails are in there to misdirect us. Or the Washington Admirals, that's a ruse. Or someone just forgot that they, they're coming up with. So what they're going to announce on the second, who knows? But if it's Commanders, it's going to be like, yeah, that's what we thought. If it's Red Tails, those people are going to be like, ooh. Which, by the way, that's my favorite, Red Tails.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't think it's going to happen because the Red Tail people are very protective of their branding and imaging. And then the last thing I think they want is a Dan Snyder touching that. That's just my opinion. But we'll see what happens. But that's kind of the latest. There are sleuths all over this that are.
That's funny.
I don't know if these people don't have jobs. I don't know. But literally are Zapruder filming this whole thing.
Well, how funny would it be if it's something totally just bonkers, like the squirrels?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
I'd be down with it. Well, and a lot. There's also the rumor faction that's going to be the Hogs because they're announced on Groundhog Day. Now,
Ooh.
Hogs has got a big tradition in Washington football lore. That's a very Washington thing. You're like, what's Hogs got to do with it? Back in the 80s, when people cared about the Washington Redskins and they were winning Super Bowls, their offensive line was called the Hogs. They had the Hogettes. The fans would dress up like pig.
I remember that.
Yeah, that's a tradition. Matter of fact, the uniform's in the Hall of Fame. The Hogettes uniform is in the Hall of Fame. That's a big thing to them. So maybe. We'll see. It's 8 o'clock. We got to get pause for news here. Andrew Moore's going to join us on the other side. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Public schools are closed in Chicago today, and it's not because of winter weather. Classes were canceled after the teachers union voted to switch to remote learning because of record COVID-19 levels. Chicago Public Schools CEO Pedro Martinez maintains that children have been safe in the classroom.
There is no evidence in our schools throughout the whole semester, the whole entire semester, with all the complaints that existed about what we didn't have, the misinformation, that we saw any significant level of any transmission. We just didn't see it.
But the teachers union says the district's safety protocols are lacking. This week's East Coast snowstorm made it tough to travel by car and by train.
The winter traveling nightmare that stalled drivers for over 24 hours on Interstate 95 in Virginia Monday and Tuesday also wreaked havoc with train travel. Amtrak's Crescent, which left New Orleans Sunday on its way to New York, got stuck north of Lynchburg, Virginia Monday morning and returned to Lynchburg before heading north again late Tuesday afternoon. Officials said downed trees had blocked the tracks. But in a phone interview early Tuesday, passenger Sean Thornton said toilets on the train were overflowing and passengers were furious. Amtrak also reported its New York-bound Silver Star train, which left Miami, was stopped at Richmond Tuesday morning, and service was canceled on the Piedmont train in North Carolina and the northbound auto train, which operates from Sanford, Florida to Lorton, Virginia. I'm Mike Gracia.
And it's another challenging day for air travel. FlightAware.com says more than 1,300 U.S. flights have been canceled today, mostly because of COVID-related staff shortages. For the third time this week, U.S. troops stationed in Iraq have been targeted for attack. A Katyusha rocket struck a military base at Baghdad's International Airport. No casualties. More details at townhall.com.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
There's unrest in Kazakhstan's main city, where anti-government protesters are staging a second day of demonstrations.
Protesters in Kazakhstan's former capital, Almaty, stormed to the main administrative building, the mayor's office, which was partially set ablaze. One live video showed smoke rising from the building and the sounds of gunfire. In the western town of Aktobe, police used water cannons in freezing temperatures to disperse protesters who had gathered outside the main government offices. A similar picture has emerged from other parts of the country.
That's the BBC's Raihan Dimitri. Hong Kong authorities have announced a 2-week ban on flights from the U.S. and 7 other countries as the city attempts to stem an emerging Omicron outbreak. Early trading on Wall Street, the Dow is down 23 points, the Nasdaq off 52. News and analysis at townhall.com. A new way to play chess is on display at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas.
Chess Up can help you beat a chess master.
Depending on what settings you have, it will light the squares and take the strength of each move.
Adam Rausch with Chess Up says artificial intelligence helps people like CEO Jeff Y., who was playing Tatev Abrahamian, a grandmaster.
Tatev has no assistance and Jeff has a lot. When he touches a piece, he can see green squares, blue squares, and red. Green is great, blue is meh, okay, and red, those are blunders. Those are bad moves.
Chess Up lets you dial up or down the level of assistant. The TV show The Queen's Gambit has increased interest in chess. Chess Up is currently available for pre-order. I'm Ed Donahue.
Well, it's not just men who love pro football. The sport appeals to many women, too. The National Football League has more than half of the NFL's 32 teams have female fan clubs. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2.
The deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here, 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. I think he hammed that up a little bit. I know he's busy, but he does it because he likes to, he's a thespian.
Okay. And I'm made of static electricity, too, obviously. So the long and short of it is, kid's mom got tested positive.
Yeah, he's been running
the dreaded Rona. So whereas that house is usually the hub for babysitting, while I'm here, that's not the case this week. So I've had to get my kid to school and take care of my son while also doing radio. And yeah, it's been tough. I know, right? I'm complaining as a single parent. Oh, tough.
That's why the good Lord made alcohol.
And bear in mind, this is one of my first experiences with in-person drop-offs at this school. The school she went to before I've done it.
So they yell at you a lot?
I don't know the protocol.
Yeah.
Mom does it sometimes when she's late, but I'm here. I do morning radio, so I don't really know
school?
Del Norte.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know that one.
Yeah. See, I don't have kids, so I don't know that either, but I've watched enough movies in my day to see parents drop the kid, and it's always, you're in the wrong lane. You're stopping when you should be going.
Mr. Mom is my favorite example.
There's one. That's one. But there's I think, let's see. Insert, I'm trying to think of a movie. The Vin Diesel one, The Nanny. I think they do it in that one.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like there's one with a John Cena doing the same thing in one of those movies.
So and that's pretty much it. I will tell you this: crossing guards get aggressive when you don't immediately, react to their. I was they were doing this, and then they were I'm okay, there was a car. I had to wait. I can't explain this. There's a windshield between us.
Some people need to watch Spider-Man more. That's all I'm saying. With great power comes great responsibility.
With great sign comes great responsibility.
Sometimes you get donned the yellow vest or the orange vest.
It goes to your head.
People tend to let that happen sometimes. You gotta understand.
First comes the sign, then comes the money, and then comes the power.
I did crossing guard duty at Military Heights for a while out of necessity because nobody else was doing it, and somebody was going to get killed. So I would just pull over and start directing traffic. No, quite seriously. And
I got this.
And the school got mad at me.
It's okay,
you're They're like, you're not wearing the vest. And I was like,
well, give me the vest.
Give me the vest. Because somebody needs to do it. And they're like, well, Mrs. Moore. And I'm like, no, I don't want kids to die today.
Right.
So.
I'm just, seeing a need here.
And I would just stand in the middle of the street and I would do the same thing. I would look at people and I'd be like, stop now. And they're like, okay.
No, I would be compelled to listen. If you're telling,
But once you got the vest, they just did it, right?
Well, I never did get the vest.
You never got the
They
vest?
never gave me the vest.
Man, they should post-mortem get you a vest.
I didn't want the vest.
A golden vest. Hangs in the rafters.
Oh, the kids were mortified.
They retired her number after this.
Now, by the way, I'm changing subject, but not because this is kind of reminding, and I haven't watched it, so I don't know, but it premiered, I think, Sunday night. Fox has a show that looks like an action show called The Cleaning Lady. Have you seen this commercial? So I think the premise based on the commercial is it's like, I think she's a doctor or something, but she's Mexico. She's an illegal immigrant. How that happened, I don't know. They don't tell you in the previews. But
they're allowed to go to school, Mike.
Well, she's an adult.
Oh.
She's a grown woman that's a doctor. And this is where it doesn't make sense to me. She's a grown woman that's a doctor. I'm assuming she's from Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess she's working in Vegas or something as like a housekeeper.
Okay.
Under her illegal status or something. And then something happens and she has to clean something. And now she's like some kind of fix-it person for the mob.
She's the cleaner.
Yeah, the cleaning lady. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's the whole premise of the show.
That's pretty good.
Like that chick from, what are those movies with Keanu Reeves? Where he calls the chick and she cleans everything up.
John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah, the
Thanks.
John Wick movies.
My brain's not working this morning yet.
I think it's something like that.
Oh, how funny.
But the previews are a little muddy, and that's why because they show her cleaning and everything, and she's playing like, oh, I'm sorry, very, very mousy. And then she's like, she's the cleaning lady. And you're just like, what is going on here?
Oh.
And so I don't know. It premiered, I think, Sunday night. So I didn't watch it. I don't know why.
I know this is
I'll have to go Hulu it.
But all I can imagine in my head is Consuela from Family Guy.
Yeah.
She just comes in, I clean now? And they go, no, we're not done yet. I clean now. You need to go away. No, I clean.
That's what, they portrayed her kind of like that. Now, granted, I only saw a commercial for it. I have not watched episode 1 or anything.
I'll have to Hulu that.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch regular TV
It's either
anymore.
the dumbest show on television or brilliant. And I haven't figured out which one it's going to be yet.
You're
But
currently watching Letterkenny. You know what the dumbest show on television is.
yeah, but that's brilliantly written.
It's brilliantly dumb.
Which one?
Letterkenny on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
It's a Canadian show.
Mm-hmm.
There's about 7 or 8 seasons.
Okay.
It's a great show.
Yep.
It's Canadian humor. It's all
Oh,
in Canada, but it's very witty. It's dumb people that are very smart, if that makes sense. Like they come across as dumb kind of hick-like people, but they speak pretty eloquently. They talk, and of course they fight and drink and all that. But they're very smart people.
Give you a great example of a line. Your girl got her first IUD after you got your third DUI.
But they talk in that
cadence.
They talk in this cadence.
Oh, no, I'll have to check that out. Of course, at my house, the kids
were
will be
hanging
like,
with your
oh my
pals the
gosh.
other day.
Yeah, Letterkenny's
highly vulgar.
Is a 10. Yeah.
Well, you were telling, when you guys were watching Dave, so
Yeah.
my 18-year-old son
Yeah, that's
got
not
me
for
addicted
kids.
to Dave. Oh, no, at our house, everything's for kids. So everybody's watching it. My husband comes home and he goes, seriously? You're letting the kids watch this? And I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Some of those scenes in the
Episode
first
3 gets a little rough.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Did you
right.
finish, Dave?
No, still no.
Oh,
I've got
man.
the kids long term now. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
that's
turn it on
right.
with
You
the-
can't.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't-
Yeah.
You can't
Oh,
turn
no.
it
It's a
on
hard
with the
sell
kids.
for the 8-year-old and the 3-year-old.
Oh, yeah, at our house, I just...
No, you don't understand. The second my TV comes on when I get home from work, puppy dog pals. Oh, please, not again.
No,
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain shows I will never watch again, no matter how much my grandkids in the future, 25 years from now, want to watch, because I'm like, nope, your parents like that. I'm done. I'm out. Never happening again.
Interesting. Oh, I'm going to put a button on this conversation with this. I saw on Facebook this morning. Apparently, Mike Judge is doing a Paramount Plus special for Beavis and Butthead.
Really?
And He's aged them. Like
Really?
like he showed a black and white. He goes, these two didn't age so well, and they showed like an old Beavis and an old Butthead in the black and white. That was the tease, and he said, look for it soon on Paramount Plus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, by like the mathematical standards, they're about your age.
Yeah, they look older than me. I hope. Golly, if I look that bad, please tell me.
Well, they've been spent the last 30 years trying to scar, so it's not exactly like they've been focusing on their health and well-being.
That's true, and they eat nachos.
Oh my gosh, that's nostalgia back in the day.
So I might have to check that out.
I'm
when
intrigued.
It comes out,
I will tell you that you got me, like when you said Mike Judge, I was like, King of the Hill, King of the Hill, King of the Hill.
No, Beavis and Butthead, old school Mike.
It's all right. Our time will come.
Oh, time will.
Because of Beavis and Butthead, we got King of the
yes,
Hill.
one begat the other.
Yes, that's true. Although I'm an OG. I'm a Beavis and Butthead guy.
Oh yeah.
That was very formative in my
my
young years.
I watched Beavis and Butthead, but that was a little before cause I was a young kid in the.
No, it was
early
right
90s.
my sweet spot.
Yeah, I was going to say
I was
that
at the
was right
age
there.
appropriate where it was intended for me. That's exactly what it was intended for me, and I loved it.
Oh, the stories of going to friends' homes to watch said show.
Oh yeah, we used to quote the episodes. And,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many times I said chili burger, huh? I don't know how many times I did that.
I know what you was doing in my shed, boy.
That and I have seen the top of the mountain, and it is good. I said those two things about 30,000 times in my life. Usually I said the chili burger one because you just crowbarred into the right spot. Chili burger, huh?
See, but that instantly makes me think of the reference from my childhood, which is Dumb and Dumber. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
Yep. All right, we should probably wrap this up so we have time to talk actual chamber business. Andrew Moore's here to not talk Beavis and Butthead with us, but give us an update on what's happening at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
So, first time in 2022.
Yeah, it's been a year.
It has been. Hopefully this one's better. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front on the way, so get ready for cooler temperatures by tomorrow. Today looks fairly mild, though. We'll be in the mid-60s, and we have high pressure overhead, so we'll get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and chilly with lows in the upper 20s to low 30s, and then quite a bit cooler on Thursday. We keep the sunshine, but our highs should stay around 50, and then we're back to the 60s Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 31 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds are calm at the moment. Actually, pretty nice day today. Sunny skies, mid-60s, 65 officially for a high. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 15 miles per hour. Later shifting to the south this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 30. Winds will be out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cooler for tomorrow. Sunny highs only expected low 50s, 53 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 24. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Back up into the mid-60s for Friday. Sunny, 65 for a high with south winds 5 to 10. Clear skies with an overnight low of 34 Friday night. Saturday, warm, near 70 for a high on Saturday under sunny skies. And then dropping once again back down to the low 50s on Sunday. Mostly sunny highs back around 53. And when you head back to work and school next week, we're going to be in about 52, 53, at least through about midweek next week. So that's what they're saying right now. But wait, it can change. It's New Mexico. That's what it does. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. Oh, it just reminded me when we talk about the New Mexico weather. Sean came in yesterday, made me laugh, and it's to his detriment. I'm sorry about that. But he walked in, he goes, I managed to find the one ice patch in all of Roswell yesterday afternoon. It stepped in it and wiped out completely. Like he did the full-on, like the legs, whoop, boom, straight out of Home Alone there. And on the one ice patch in Roswell. That's the part that makes me laugh. There was probably one piece in the hole, and he found it and fell on it. All right, I'm going to keep laughing. Y'all listen to these commercials.
Have you been dealing with stress or anxiety lately? Don't let that stop you from getting the dental work done that you know needs to happen. Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and every day we help people just like you have a relaxing and pain-free experience with IV sedation. Just imagine a dental experience where you don't remember the needles or the drills. If that's what you're looking for, we can help. Let us ease your stress and create the best dental experience ever.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main or call 622-4455.
What does it mean to be a world-class university? To start, being ranked in the top 2% of universities in the world, and to be the only designated R1 highest research activity university in the state. It's about creating the most opportunities for students. And at the University of New Mexico, we do just that by offering affordable, top-tier education year after year and awarding millions in scholarships to our students. So, what are you waiting for? Apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
I am Sandra Stewart, Chavez County Assessor.
And I am Charlotte Andrade Gourlay, Chavez County Treasurer.
If someone is pressuring you to sell your property at a reduced price because you are delinquent on your taxes, beware.
If you're a delinquent, please contact the Chavez County Treasurer's Office and we will work with you to bring your account current. Please note that any real property 3 years delinquent can be auctioned off by the state of New Mexico.
For any questions, please contact our offices.
Thank you.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today, 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, "No, I'm growing like a bamboo." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Executive Director for the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, now officially in capacity here.
That's right.
Andrew Moore with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Happy New
Year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Woohoo.
Happy 2022. Let's talk legislation real quick,
okay.
Just to kind of get out of it, because generally speaking, this time of year, you guys get hot and heavy getting ready for legislative session. That's normal in a normal non-COVID world, because generally, whether it's a 30-day or a 60-day, there's a lot of legislative receptions that happen in the evenings, and generally this is an opportunity for various organizations and municipalities and things to kind of showcase and talk to our legislators and things. And the chambers have one usually scheduled, and aren't in the Roswell Chamber, RT, all the chambers from around go up there and kind of show off the benefits of the various communities which they represent. Is any of that happening this year? Or has that all been put on the kibosh?
So, I'm going to start with Leadership Roswell first.
Okay.
We are not going up to Santa Fe with Leadership Roswell this year because it has been mandated by the governor that you have to be vaccinated.
Okay.
And to be vaccinated, that requires all 3 shots, your 2 vaccinations plus your booster, which now I'm hearing from the CDC, they're recommending a 4th one.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm sure... So I'm sure all of that's going to end up happening. Well, with Leadership Roswell, we spoke with Rick and said, hey, I'm willing to do it, but here's the
You're
trick.
going to have to make everyone get vaccinated.
If you're not vaccinated, you can't go in. They're not allowing tours at the Roundhouse. You're not going to be able to meet with legislators or the governor or any of that.
And that's really what Leadership Roswell does when they're out there. So
Exactly.
even if they go, where are they going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go to the Supreme Court. You can't go to the Land Commission. You're not going to be able to go do all of those things, go to the governor's mansion because they're just not open to tours. So put the vaccination thing aside. They're not doing tours. They're going to probably put the fence up around the Roundhouse again, from what I've been hearing, but definitely the vaccine. And then speakers are very hesitant to come talk to us in Santa Fe because it's all of that rigmarole.
Sure.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that.
Okay.
There were some of the receptions are being canceled because once again, it's all of those mandates that are required once you're in Santa Fe proper.
Yeah.
So Leadership Roswell's not going. I personally will probably be going back and forth up there because I do have personal relationships with people.
And you're still the public events and things, those are getting scaled back, but
Correct.
the meetings, the actual business of a legislative session still happening, and you as a chamber director will have things to discuss.
Well, and like I said, with my personal relationships, there's ways that you figure out how to work around. And if that means going up to, my girlfriend's house and hanging out, and then we just, meet over there, or, that kind of stuff to get stuff done,
So
then I'll do. And of course, I miss all my girls, all my buddies. And
You'll make a trip out of it regardless.
that's right. So whether it be official or unofficial, I'm sure I'll go up there at least once. And then, of course, it is only a 30-day session.
Correct, yeah.
So it's going to, from the minute they start that it's gavel down at noon, it'll be just fast and furious.
Sure. And this is, I'm curious, because generally the 30-day, it's mostly budget.
Mostly. And anything the governor deems relevant.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and this is not really a question for you, it's just me speaking out loud. I'm wondering if they're going to give some more guidance to our municipalities on the cannabis stuff.
I've heard that that's a possibility.
Okay, because I know speaking to a mayor and county commission and things, they're all pretty much saying they're leaving it up to us, and we're just all kind of taking like the liquor ordinances and trying to kind of line up with those, and Santa Fe, this is where Santa Fe screwed this up. Forget whether
when you have a special session and you say, here's the legislation, you're not allowed to make any amendments or any changes.
Yeah.
It's pass-fail.
Yeah.
It got passed because they weren't allowed to leave until they passed it. So they passed it, they came home, and of course it's wild, wild west down here.
Yeah. And that's the part that gets me, regardless whether you're for recreation or not, that to me, that's not the point here. The point is, if you're going to do this, you better have a plan in place to say, this is what we're doing. You can't just say we're going to make it legal now and say, have fun with it. No, what's all right? It's all right. Yes. Okay. It's going to be legal. We're going to make it available to anyone of age or whatever, the requirements we place on it. But what are those requirements? How do we implement them? All right. What's the rules here? Are they going to be restricted on hours? Are they going to be restricted on where they can be built? What's the protocol here? And none of that was, guidelines, none of that was given out. And that's where it's a problem, because if you leave everyone to their own devices, some are going to have none, and some are going to be over the top.
Yep.
And you're not going to have any consistency there. And so you really need a state guideline here to say, okay, you've got to meet this criteria, and this criteria.
Yeah, at least
outside
have the
of that,
basics.
have those, and then go.
Well, it's
turn you loose on your
something
thing.
as simple. Look at cigarettes. Look at alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
you have in most places are starting to go back up to 21 to buy cigarettes now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. Yeah.
But 18 to buy cigarettes, 21 to drink alcohol, but purchase alcohol. So, this is a substance that is going to alter the way that you function, the way that you think.
Sure.
It is a mind-altering substance like alcohol.
Absolutely.
So, I don't want my 12-year-old to be smoking pot or eating edibles or something. So, we need to know what those checks and balances are.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. I would think that there's going to be something that comes out, but it's 30 days and it's Santa Fe. So your guess is as good as mine at this point.
It's going to be interesting, obviously. But if it sounds like, because normally at this time they're saying, hey, any businesses want to bring some stuff over to the chamber so we can give out and hand out. Hold off on all that till we know for sure, but it sounds like that's probably not going to be happening.
And I will always take stuff because even if we don't do it for the 30-day session, there's opportunities for me to go up there.
Okay.
And, worst case scenario, I can do gift baskets and send them to the individual legislators on different things. And, of course, my wheelhouse is this kind of stuff. So be looking for emails.
Okay.
From us at the chamber on the different legislation that's coming out.
Okay.
Some stuff we will, as the chamber, take a stance and say we are for or against what's going on, but a lot of it will be just informational. Hey, this is coming up. Here's the committee it's in. Here's the people you need to contact.
Sure. You as a business, does this pertain to you? Do you need to pay attention to this? And this is the side of becoming a chamber member and the benefit side. I know we talk about a lot of the time, and most of the time, it's promoting your business and helping make your business grow. But the other facet, and I tend to lean this way, the more important role of the chamber is to be that voice for businesses in the legislature.
Absolutely.
To show our legislators exactly what our businesses are going through. So when it comes to make legislation, either helping or hurting these individuals, they at least know exactly what's going on because your chamber is doing a good job of keeping them informed and updated on that. Chamber obviously is a nonpartisan event, so I mean, and to be honest, chambers kind of work like the communities in which they live in. They're nonpartisan, but if it's a very liberal leaning community, the chamber generally goes that direction.
Exactly.
And vice versa. If it's a conservative, it generally leans conservative. However, they're there to represent the voice of the businesses, everybody here. So,
and if there's legislation that comes out that as the community, as businesses want to let me know so I can inform everybody else, let me know because I try to do a pretty good job of knowing what's going on with my contacts up in Santa Fe between elected officials and their staff. But of course, I'm human. I'm one person. I can't be everywhere all at once. So if there's something particular that our businesses in our community want to know or want us to push out, I can put it in our newsletter or in our email. And of course, like I said, we've been really good at just doing our newsletter on Fridays. But because of the 30-day session, you are going to see more emails from us.
It'll get busy here over the next 30, 40 days here.
Yeah. Things change daily, and they may even change,
by the
hourly and stuff. So as it's relevant, I will really do my very, very best to push out the information so that way you can contact your elected officials, or if you want me to take a stance and lobby on behalf, if we get most of our businesses that contact the chamber and say, hey, we really need you to do this, I am more than happy to do that legwork.
Fight the fight.
And contact these people and say, hey, this is what we need you to do. We need you to vote yes, or we need you to vote no. We need you to push it on to the next committee or whatever, because I'm going to use an old school word, Rolodex. I have lots of personal phone numbers and emails that a lot of the general public doesn't have, just because over the last 20 years, I've really worked hard to get that make those relationships.
And throughout your career and things, it's not always been the chamber director. You've served with the political parties here, so you swam in those circles and know the connections in those circles, and now you're using that to your advantage as a chamber director, and
100%.
And that's what's going on there. It's much like we all do in our lives.
And I'm happy to do it. So be looking for that kind of stuff coming up, because it'll be fast.
Yeah. Especially that last week of the session there. That's when it'll get really, you think the first, and then because once it's it's almost fun to watch because it's when it's watching the government happen in a high pressure situation, which is kind of an unusual thing in government operations. You know, we'll see our U.S. Congress on occasion, they got to get a balanced budget by midnight or something, and so they're burning the midnight candles, but that doesn't happen very often. That's pretty much happens every year in the last week, even of a 60-day, it gets like that too. And so, pay attention. And to be honest, this is where you really need to pay attention, because this is the stuff that can get real nefarious. This is where that's happening. When we talk about progressives and the extremes of both sides and all, they can do some real damage during these 30 and 60 days if they turn enough people.
We'll post links to the different committee meetings.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do, I will do my very best to have that up on our website. We'll have our brand new website here within about the next week or so. Madeline has really been working hard on getting the new website up and working. Finally, it's been a year of all of us pulling our hair out trying to get this thing going. So when the new website comes up, it'll be updated. It's user-friendly. Cool. So those links will be posted so that way you can see, I need to make sure I look at Finance Committee if there's Zoom stuff so that way the public can participate since you can't be there in person unless you're vaccinated. We'll do our very best to make sure that all of that stuff is posted. Cool. And like I said, if there's something I miss, contact me, please. Yeah. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you go, hey, you didn't put this on there, or where can I find it?
And let us know when we do that. We'll make sure to share it on our Facebooks and all that to help get the word out, to steer people back there to check it out and go see it.
Because if you don't participate, in my opinion, you can't complain.
Well, and it's kind of like what I was when I was on my soapbox last hour talking about the municipal elections here. These elections, municipal, county level, they are as far as impacting what you do on a daily basis, the decisions that come from those results are going to impact your life more greatly than even what
the closer to home, the more it affects your daily basis. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love to watch what happens in D.C. Yeah. It just cracks me up, and I throw socks at the TV all the time. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect my day-to-day life as much as what happens in Santa Fe, what happens in Roswell, or at the county commission meetings.
Absolutely.
So going back to what you said, like with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Forum, I agree. Be there in person. Go to city council meetings. Be there in person. Go to county commission meetings. Be there in person. Because there is something to be said about watching it on the video versus being in person, because you need to, in my opinion, watching the interactions.
Absolutely.
That when the public's up there speaking and you're watching city councilors or county commission rolling their eyes, crossing their arms, huffing and puffing, or the smiles and the nods and the okay.
Yeah.
You need to see that, because then you get the full picture.
Absolutely.
So then when we have elections, you can make an informed decision and go, oh, wait a second. Sally Joe has been sitting on the commission for all this time, but all she's done is roll her eyes and huff and puff and be, a grumpy Gus. Maybe we need to get somebody else in there. Or, Joe Blow has been great. He's been very supportive of the community.
Absolutely.
Let's continue. So I'm all for, and of course, at the same time as session, we do have our municipal elections. So we'll do the same thing. We'll be posting, as I see the bios, for example, Robert Korn's stuff was in the paper on Sunday. We'll start posting all of that information. So that way you can see who is everybody running for mayor, who's everybody running in your wards, and then you can start making those decisions. Do I want to have, one person over another in a ward? And even though Angela's running unopposed, we'll still post all of her information so her constituents can see who she is.
And if she wants, we're going to invite her up here.
Absolutely.
Leadership Roswell will invite her to the forum to speak for. Obviously, she won't have someone to talk against, but generally how they do that at those events is they'll offer the unopposed candidates like 2 minutes to address the crowd and speak with them and do that. Now, she's under no obligation to do it, but we're going to offer those opportunities.
So I'll be the first one to say congratulations, Angela, on your win for city council. But the next, few months is going to be fast and furious. And then, of course, we'll come out of session And we are going to have our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Yes.
I can officially...
it's back.
It's back. We will have that in March. I don't have the exact date quite yet, but there is a specific time in March that is Agriculture Week, and we usually do it on that Thursday of the week. So we are hammering out who our guest speaker is, and there's a couple that we've really been working on.
I've heard
and one
some
I hope.
rumors and names, and they're all good ones.
Yeah, so one I really hope we get. So we've been back and forth trying to make an agreement to see who's going to do it, but we are definitely having our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Cool. Now for you non-ranching types, this is a rancher's hours event.
Yes.
It's a breakfast, and it's not at like 8 a.m.
No,
you're going to miss the whole thing of it.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We're out, but here's the. All right, most of you are like, why the heck am I getting up at 6 a.m. to go? The food's always excellent.
Yes.
The guest speakers are always excellent. It really is a great event. It's worth being up at dark 30 to come on out.
It really is.
They're going to have plenty of coffee. So if you come in bleary-eyed, no problem. They'll IV you up to the coffee and get you ready to go. But it really is worth it. Get your tickets. Come out. This is an opportunity to learn, but also to thank and show our appreciation to the farm and ranch community. You know, that agricultural in this area, we would. They can't go. We couldn't have one without the other.
If you eat, you are a part of agriculture.
Absolutely, and you know we're very fortunate in Roswell and even Chaves County. We're rather diverse compared to some of our surrounding counties. You know, they kind of live and die by oil and gas. And don't get me wrong, oil and gas helps us a whole bunch too. I'm not going to complain about that, but really, our bread and butter at the end of the day, that dairy industry, farming, ranching.
Drive around Chaves County, look at all the farms and the dairies and
the cattle, fields. Everything. Yeah, that really is our bread and butter. Pardon the pun here, but it kind of is.
So we're excited.
Absolutely. So again, dates. We'll get everything out here. Is there still sponsorship opportunities?
We are. We're starting to go, and of course, we're going to reach out to those sponsors that weren't able because the event got canceled at the last minute in 19.
So we got to do some make goods there.
So
and all
we're,
that.
you know, if you were a sponsor back then, you will still be a sponsor. Of course, I'm gonna ask that everybody, you know, I would love to have money help us pay for everything, but if you've already paid, we're making good on your sponsorship from back then.
But if you want to give us some more, we'll be like,
I'm never going to say no. Jeez.
Right. I'll give you an extra egg. How about
that? That's right. So we're excited for that. We're going to start contacting everybody for that event. Of course, with the new year is, you know, we're still continuing with Roswell Now magazine, but the contracts are now up to be re-signed for any of the long-term advertisers that we had last year.
Okay.
I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that just about all of them will sign their contracts. And of course, we're out looking for new advertisers.
I'm about to say, so if you're looking to sign a contract here and want to maybe, you know, lock in advertising for the next year through the magazine, now's the perfect time to come contact the chamber.
And we've got
get that done.
We've got advertising opportunities from as low as $200 up to, you know, $3,000 per issue. And of course, that just depends on how big of an ad.
Sure.
You know, if you want a 2-page spread in the magazine, of course, that's going to cost you more. But we have a section called Business Hub that we're really starting to develop that's kind of like a directory.
Okay.
So that's as small as $200 per issue. If you're a member of the chamber, you get a 10% discount on any of our advertising. But advertising is not limited just to our members. It's open to any and everybody. And I've heard a lot of good information from our advertisers that they have seen a return on advertising because
so they feel like they're getting money, they're getting investment in their money they're spending.
Absolutely. It gets mailed out to every household in Chaves County, not just Roswell, but the entire county, and it's just shy of 30,000 households.
Yeah.
So you're getting tons of exposure, as well as we take tons to every hotel, all of our banks, like anywhere that does commerce that will allow us to drop off magazines. They're there.
Absolutely.
Restaurants, anybody that allows us. So it's not just the households, but then our overprint, we get out into the community.
And of course, if you have not got one in the mail and you're like, hey, I want to call the chamber, we'll make sure we'll get you on the mailing
That's
list,
right.
or make sure your address is correct in the mailing list.
Exactly.
If you've moved or something and that just never got updated.
And
on
if
one
you've
end
been
or
one
another,
of those people, lucky, unlucky, I don't know how you put it, people that have gotten 2 or 3 because your number, your address or whatever has probably been in there a couple of times. Let me know that too, because then I can scrub our address list appropriately. Because I know, for example, at the post office, a lot of places will have their physical address as well as their post office.
Right.
And if you want one copy just sent to one place or the other, let me know.
Sure.
Because we can adjust our mailing list appropriately.
So that way, if you're getting inundated with copies of it, you don't want that. Now, if you want that, by all means, enjoy. But
absolutely.
But if you just want one copy, call the chamber, let them know, and they'll be like, all right, let's which one do you want it to, and let's get it all fixed up.
And of course, if you want to submit content to us, we're always looking for content.
Absolutely.
Anything that has to do with Chaves County. That, once again, not just Roswell, but the entire county of Chaves. If you're a writer, a photographer, if you just want to give us an idea.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many people just in the last couple of days have come into the office and said, oh my gosh, I used to live here, 40 years ago, and this place over here used to be this. Do you know what this building used to be? And telling a story. I'm like, oh my gosh, would you like to be in the magazine? Yeah, I'll write up a thing, or
I think that'd be a great feature, maybe, because I know, if you follow on Facebook, there's a couple pages like Remembering Roswell and things, and a lot of those post and share nostalgic pictures of the community. Maybe that's a section, a feature in each one. Maybe this person will, hey, here's our blast from the past for this episode or this edition, and it's the old Levi's building or whatever it is.
Exactly, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People that have lived in this community all their lives have said that they've learned something from each episode,
I know,
each
I want
issue.
to do. Now you're doing what I'm doing.
I do it all the time. That each issue that we have, and they go, oh my gosh, I've lived here all my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's, and then of course we want to always have something about the schools, because it's the community. This is a magazine for the community, by the community, because I promise everybody gets really bored with me very quickly. I am not as interesting as people think I am.
I was like, I'm interesting, but only like this period of time, and then I'm done.
It's, give us ideas. We're always looking. And if you don't think you're a writer or a photographer, fine, not a big deal. We got people.
Yeah.
We'll go out and we'll do it.
Sure.
Of course, things like the zoo. As everybody has noticed, we've had an animal at the zoo. And of course, we're going to highlight the new animals that just came in the next issue. We've got, and of course, there's always different people, places, things. Call us. Let us know with the magazine.
Absolutely.
Lots of opportunities. And I promise you, we're going to be out there knocking on your door. If you don't call me, if I'm going to call you.
Absolutely.
Because there is opportunity for everybody. And then, of course, with it being a new year, business after hours, our calendar fills up very quickly.
Absolutely.
Another opportunity for members. Now, that is a member-specific event that we do as business after hours, where you as the business get to highlight your business for whatever reason. If you just want to have a party, we'll do it. But typically it is, a remodel, a grand opening type stuff. But it doesn't have to be that. It's a networking event for everybody, because everybody in the community is invited, but only members can actually be the host of the business after hour.
Yeah, exactly.
To highlight their business. So contact us, because we only do so many a year. So give us a call, because that book is, we're booking very quickly with business after hours, as we always do.
And like I said, I think last time, prior to COVID, you had to book about a year out to do this. We're getting to the point now where we're almost back to that.
Correct.
That scenario. Not quite, but we're close to it.
That's right. So give us a call.
Yeah. So
and if it's open, we'll do it.
I will tell you this: a lot of businesses will use it to mark special occasions, like maybe it's an anniversary of your business. I know we did ours here. It was our 1-year anniversary here in this building, which was about 4 years ago. But that's
then you're about due for another one.
We're about due, but it's like that. Or maybe you've expanded your facility or opened a new facility.
Exactly.
Or if you're a grand opening business or something, that's what we generally people use. I mean, there's no rule or regulation here, but if you're looking for an idea or a reason why to do it, maybe a milestone with your business would be a good starting point there.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And, being back from COVID
Yeah.
is always a great reason.
Yeah.
Hey, we're still here because a lot of places have closed
Absolutely.
permanently. So if you want to just, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're open. We're back at COVID. Hey, this is the upgrades and changes we've made to our COVID protocols. Come see it and come and enjoy some food and some prizes while you're at it.
And if you don't have a brick and mortar business, if you're an online business or, a home.
We can host some at the chamber.
We have a great facility at the office. We can move things around and we can have a ton of people in and out of the chamber itself to be able to highlight you and your business as well.
Absolutely. So there's many options here. But again, if you're interested, please reach out to the chamber here today. Like I said, they book up quick. So especially if you've got a date-specific time period, the sooner the better.
That's
that way
right.
you can lock it down and get it taken care of.
That's right.
What about sheriff's luncheons and all that? Is that going to be back?
We are going to start doing the sheriff's luncheon. We were trying to bring it back last year, but with Sheriff Harrington's very busy schedule, we were
and now it's an
trying to
election
figure
year
out.
too, so I didn't know if that had to change anything or not. Too.
As long as he's willing to do it, we're willing to do it because we do want to, get that information out. And then hopefully after the municipal elections, we can get something going
for the
with
mayor,
the mayor and or the city councilors as well, because I do think that there's something to be said.
Absolutely.
To have these elected officials, you need, have access and know what's going on. I will send out as much information because I am that weird, crazy person. I go to every city council meeting. I go to every county commission meeting. I'm starting to go to every committee meeting for the city as well. So I go in because I am weird and crazy and I just eat that stuff up.
This is kind of your wheelhouse. You love politics and
love it. My
that.
kids roll their eyes and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the most boring." My husband's the same way.
There's a certain breed of people that love it, and you're one of them. That's
I do.
Just what it is. Yeah.
So I can give information, but it's not the same as getting it from your elected official.
Sure.
And then ask, because I can only give you the information. I can't say why somebody voted or did.
You've got your opinions and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm
not the elected. I'm not in charge.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hearing it straight from the person that's making those decisions is
That's right.
far better than
And if there is something
second, third hand
that the community wants us to do at the chamber, let me know. If there's a certain kind of like a lunch and learn or a seminar or something you want us to do that would be helpful to your business or help highlight certain things in the community. Once again, let me know. We have that great, beautiful boardroom. And the front office area is just about complete. We've got to put a little bit of border on the baseboards back on, and we're going to get some rugs and the furniture in there. But that office area is awesome.
Good.
We have finally been able to get enough funds to take care of that office area.
Good.
And that's another meeting space because we have this big, huge boardroom that seats up to 45 people
But
comfortably.
if you don't need that much, we got smaller areas.
We'll have a smaller office area that you can come in and check emails, use the phone if you need, or even just a small meeting. If there's 6-8 people that need to meet, instead of the big boardroom, we now have another area.
Maybe you have job interviews and things that you don't want to do, say, at the business. You can come down to the chamber and get that taken care of.
Exactly. And I'm just excited. That's
like
what we did all over
and
Christmas.
what I'm saying is like hiring and things like that. Sometimes you don't want to do that where other staff or things.
Correct.
So if you need an off-site place to conduct that kind of business,
the
chamber is
exactly.
If you're a member of the chamber or even not a member and you want to learn more about that stuff, come talk.
Because there's a lot of things that we do that is for our members, but we are, we can offer a lot of things to non-members as well. Now there might be a charge if you're not a member versus member. And so, but we are open to the public. We are for the community.
And I also want to throw a shout out to nonprofits and things too. If you're needing help in various ways, the chamber loves helping nonprofits or pairing you with maybe some chamber members. We have a lot of chamber members, small business owners that are passionate about certain projects, and maybe we can use that to pair up and say, well, maybe you're into animals. We know a business that loves supporting animals. Maybe let's go pair you guys together. Maybe they can help you out. You help us. We can help there. I mean, we can make those kind of connections for you if you're looking for that kind of stuff.
That's exactly what. nonprofits that need a place to have a luncheon. We've got our space. The Kiwanis have come in and had luncheons at different times. I know different committees with Leadership Roswell alumni come and use our boardroom.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I think Dairy Producers Board meeting is going to be next week.
Senior Olympics, I think, used it.
They've used it.
Times,
Albertsons does their training. Let's see. Once a month, we have the phlebotomists come in. The group that we've worked
they squirt
with.
blood all over. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the vampires come in, and they come in once a month and do their training. There. So we have this space, and we are willing to work with you in any way, shape, or form. We'll offer water, coffee, and tea at a minimum. If you want us to, make sure that you've got a lunch or a dinner, we're more than happy to help you cater it. Now, there is a charge to that.
Sure. But you can help.
But I will be more than happy to make those arrangements.
Absolutely.
And that kind of stuff. That's what we're there for.
Yeah. So reach out. Call the chamber. Give out the number.
575-623-5695.
Very good. And, of course, follow the Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook.
It's a day.
It's a day. The Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, the website should be rolling out here in the next couple weeks and getting folks up to date on that. And then, of course, if you have any questions about legislative session, business after hours, or sheriff's lunch, any of the stuff we talked about, don't hesitate to reach out and or come by the chamber. They're like I said, if the door is locked and it's during business hours, just ring the doorbell.
If you see one of our cars, usually one of the red cars, or Kyle's big black truck, or Madeline's gray Jeep out there, we're there. But there are times that we lock the front door for safety reasons. We have a doorbell. Ring the doorbell. We will come. I promise. We've got the cameras up. We can see when you're there. But come on in. Call us, 131 West 2nd. And we'd love to chat with you.
Absolutely. And have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. We appreciate the visit as always. And,
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time, all right?
All righty.
All right. 8:55, quick news and commercial break before more news. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia Police Department is inviting the public to the city's public library on January 14th for Nerf Wars. The Artesia Police Department will be there Friday, January 14th, to participate in a Nerf battle with any Artesia students grades 6 through 12. Nerf guns will be provided by the library staff. Anyone invited to attend the fun event from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Also at the Artesia Police Department, Sergeant David Bailey has been promoted to Sergeant of Patrol. A ceremony was held just before the holidays. Bailey reportedly went through a rigorous assessment and was selected by the points he accumulated throughout the entire testing process. The state's largest electric utility is appealing a recent decision by regulators to reject a proposed merger with the U.S. subsidiary of global energy giant Iberdrola. PNM Resources announced it filed its notice of appeal with the New Mexico Supreme Court this week. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. OPEC and allied oil-producing countries decided Tuesday to pump more oil to the world economy amid hope that travel and demand for fuel will hold up despite the rapid spread of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. The 23-member OPEC alliance said it would add 400,000 barrels per day next month, sticking with a plan to slowly restore cuts in output made during the pandemic. The Ford Motor Company says it will nearly double the annual production of its electric F-150 Lightning pickup truck based on a high number of advanced reservations. The company said Tuesday that it will be able to build at a rate of 150,000 pickups per year at its electric vehicle factory in Dearborn, Michigan by the middle of next year. On Wall Street, the Dow up 214 points, the Nasdaq down 210, and the S&P 500 down 3 points. With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
You may have heard of SmartHub. SmartHub is Central Valley Electric's online tool for members to manage their electric account. With SmartHub, not only can you securely pay your bill online, you can view your detailed electric use 24 hours a day. You can report an outage while staying up to date with the latest co-op news, compare past and current electric use. Sign up for paperless billing or reoccurring payment so that your payment is never late. The best thing is you can access SmartHub from your computer, tablet, or smartphone, so it goes everywhere you go. Visit cvecoop.org to get started or give us a call.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? We could romance the legal copy. It never gets the attention it deserves. And some lawyer worked real hard on it. So take it away, lawyer.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Now that was some beautiful legal. Well done, lawyer. Well done.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deirdre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Bill Cunningham is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
And we're closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We're going to have the folks from the Roswell Refuge join us here about 9:15 as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. We'll be right back.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. Firefighters responded to a large house fire in Philadelphia today. Authorities say there are fatalities, but declined to say how many people died. When first responders arrived early this morning, they found flames coming from the second-floor windows. Virginia officials are defending their response after hundreds of people were stranded overnight on I-95 for more than 27 hours following Monday's winter storm.
It started with multiple tractor-trailers jackknifing near Fredericksburg Monday. The roads were slick with ice and snow. State Department of Transportation officials say they were not able to pre-treat roadways because the rain would have washed it away. Drivers sent pleas for help on social media about running out of food and water and asking what was happening. By late Tuesday afternoon, the DOT said only abandoned cars remained on the roadway. The storm also left passengers on an Amtrak train stranded in Virginia Monday morning when downed trees blocked the tracks. I'm Julie Walker.
Chicago schools have canceled classes today after the teachers union voted to switch to remote learning due to record COVID-19 levels. A key Democrat remains wary of changing Senate rules to advance an election reform bill.
Senator Joe Manchin told reporters Tuesday,
I'm not agreeing to any of this.
On Monday, Schumer said the Senate will debate and consider easing the filibuster rules by January 17th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, as Democrats push for voting legislation. But Manchin remains skeptical.
The need for us to protect democracy as we know it, and the Senate, as it has operated for 232 years, are extremely, extremely high bars that we must be very careful for willing to cross those.
Mike Rossia, Washington.
Stocks are mixed. The Dow ahead by 70, the Nasdaq down 99. Town Hall.
So I invested in one of those fancy new exercise bikes. Without a doubt, a very special tool to help me get healthier. The problem is 3 days go by, then 4, and I've done nothing. And then it's night 5, and I'm sitting at the kitchen table, and I look down at myself, and I can't help but just laugh. Because there I am, wearing the exercise t-shirt that came with the bike, and I'm eating 2 corn dogs. And I think we'd all agree, the special tool only matters if we use it to our benefit. At United Faith Mortgage, we believe we have an advantageous tool for you. Our mortgage team is an arm of a bigger company who is a direct lender, which means our company gets to use its own money and make its own decisions. There's no middleman. And often, this allows us to get you a better rate on your refinance or new home purchase, which can save you monthly and lifelong money. We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
The campaign in support of a fourth shot of the COVID-19 vaccine continues in Israel. The latest from the Media Line's Felice Friedson.
As the Omicron variation soared from less than 1,000 to almost 7,000 new infections in a week, Israel's prime minister is lobbying his nation to accept a fourth dose of the COVID-19 vaccination. At Tel Aviv Sheba Hospital, where testing on the fourth dose is underway, Naftali Bennett announced to the nation that, a week into the fourth dose, we know to a higher degree of certainty that the fourth dose is safe. He added that those with the fourth dose are showing a four-fold increase in antibodies. On Sunday, Israel made the booster available to those over 60. On Monday, a record 10,000 cases were reported. I'm Felice Friedson, Town Hall News, Jerusalem.
News and analysis at themedialine.org and at townhall.com. Indian police have arrested 3 people in connection with an app that shared photos of more than 100 Muslim women saying that they were on sale.
2 of the accused have been arrested from the northern state of Uttarakhand, while 1 was detained in the southern city of Bangalore. The content they shared has been blocked, and police say they're investigating further to find out who was behind the app. This is the second time in 6 months that scores of Muslim women in India, many of them journalists, activists and politicians, have found their photos shared on an app saying they were up for auction. The purpose was to humiliate the women, many of whom have been vocal about the rising tide of hardline Hindu views under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government.
That's correspondent Lagita LeMay with the BBC. A second man has been arrested in a shooting at the Mall of America in Minnesota last week that left 2 people wounded. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Happy, not so bad weather today, Dave.
Yeah, she must have been here a while. Her seat's still warm.
Ah.
There's nowhere in the studio that I can get warm. That's why I'm still rocking the coat.
So he's like warms.
As I sat down on the seat, I'm like,
well,
ooh,
the heat's
okay.
out in the building. That's what's going on.
Is that what's up?
And Modesto asked if we want a space heater. You can go down and see downstairs there and see if you want to.
I had no idea.
I didn't think we. Well, he asked me yesterday, and I was like, "Is it freezing there?" And then I walked in. I was like, "It's kind of nice. I kind of like it."
Yeah, of course you do.
I do have my coat on still, but I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I was trying to figure. I was sitting in my studio like, I've got my heat on. What's going on?
It's not working.
It's not.
Yeah.
This is the first time hearing of this, actually.
Oh, well, unfortunately.
Thanks.
It's not working.
Dude.
Hang out in Tanner's room, man. It's toasty in there.
Well, yeah, all the equipment.
And now he's got the door closed, so it's really toasty in there. That's why he's wearing shorts all day. It's toasty in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I meant to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Sharon's pie roasting thing still a thing on Facebook? Because I saw one yesterday. I unfollowed it because it got too nuts. And it was just like, all right, my all wall was turning into Sharon pie tasting.
It is, but it's no longer anywhere close to what it was. Basically, now it's people posting horrifying stories from, like, I literally just read one where a woman brought peanut butter cookies to her office.
Yeah.
But that they were so, like, hard, like, hard to eat, and coated in sugar. You couldn't even taste the peanut butter. So then she got on, like the lady was talking about how she's always wanted to be a baker and she loves getting in the kitchen and baking. And then later in the conversation, the woman just volunteers that most people have worms in the pipes in their kitchen. And that sometimes the worms in her pipes in her kitchen just come out and sometimes hiss at her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
All this after she shared her cookies that she baked at home with So yeah, it's now evolved to like stories like this of like horrifying kitchen nightmares.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually at the end it's with something to the effect of thanks Marie calendars.
And no offense, folks. I know a lot of people do it and most of them are just fine. But when you're on Facebook like, hey, I got lunch for you. And I'm like, yeah, who cooked it again? And that's why. That's the exact reason why, is because that woman's like, I got worms in my sink. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating food from your house.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a hard sell.
Now, either way, if the worms are imaginary or real, I don't care. Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want nothing from that household.
From that household, sure.
Yeah, but that's just it. How do I know? When do you find out? After you already ate it. So no, I do that too.
So yeah, that's sort of what the Marie Callender's Sharon's Pie roasting page has become.
I want my bad stuff. I want to know up front how bad it is before I put it.
If I want to put something god awful in my system, I'm going to do it on the radio.
Yeah, exactly. Where it belongs.
I'm going to do it for a bit. Oh man.
Oh, and I want to say because it's not appropriate, but I think it's legit. And I saw it once. It was a paid ad on my Facebook. For a weight loss device.
Okay.
And the picture looks like it's a spoof.
Is it like...
I don't think it is, though.
Now, is it I might have seen this. Is it basically a Silence of the Lambs mask?
No.
Okay, because that I saw it. I was like...
Worse.
You're kidding me. Okay.
Worse. It's an implement that looks cylindrical.
Uh-huh.
They were holding it in a place where one should not put cylindrical things.
Sure.
And it's supposed to suck the fat away or something.
What?
I got to go. I just saw it like for a hot minute when I was scrolling. I was like, no, this ain't real. And then I had to move along because I couldn't. But I got to go back and find it because it's disturbing.
I'm curious. Just be careful how much research you do because you could get targeted ads for the next month.
Yeah, that's why I haven't. It was scrolling through and I'm like, what?
In fairness, I am the proud owner of a bar of Dr. Squatch soap, so don't tell me targeted advertising doesn't work.
How do you like it?
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah?
It is so...
Did you get a Star Wars one? Or
no, I went with the Pine Tar. Because what it was is I went to Zia Guns here in Roswell, local Dr. Squatch retailer, because you can actually like smell the soap. You know, because you order something online, you don't know what it smells like.
You don't get it until you open the box.
The Pine Tar bar smells amazing.
Doesn't smell like a baseball bat?
No, not at all. It's just it smells, rugged, manly, whatever.
I'm assuming like a pine tree.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And it's got oatmeal and sand worked into the bar, so it's got like a heavy grit.
So it's edible.
Yeah, it's totally fully edible. Well, it is all natural. But and the results speak for themselves.
Okay.
As far as the soap masculine smell quality and in the girlfriend department.
I was going to say, is it girlfriend approved?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I like it. There you go. That's a ringing endorsement right there. That's all you got to tell fellas. Does your girlfriend like it?
Yep.
She loves it. Then they're in. That's all that matters to them. Yeah, that's all you got to say. Maybe, you know what? If you're selling soap, that's just your commercial. I'm a dude. I use it. My wife thinks I'm hot now. Buy it. Commercial over.
I'll tell you what, fellas, I'm going to simplify it. You want to make your bar go the longest?
Yeah.
You can wash yourself all over your body with like Irish Spring or whatever. 2 spots. Right here on your collarbone. Right back here.
Yeah?
That's all you got to do.
Okay. Well, if you're going to take a shower, go ahead and clean the rest of
clean the rest of you with, with your cheap soaps. Talking about if you're going to save your premium stuff, rub it just in the...
Those are the areas.
The erogenous zones.
Oh, gotcha. I gotcha. I smell what Sean's cooking.
I didn't cook it in my kitchen, don't worry.
Okay, cool. Let me give the rundown.
Yes.
We're going to have, we'll get you updated with the weather and all that here in just a few. And then about 9:15 or so, the folks from the Roswell Refuge will join us. I saw Leslie. I couldn't see who else was joining her there, but they'll join us here. We'll get an update on what's happening there. Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with the local news along with your Town Hall Business Report and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. So, by the way, I spent the whole first hour talking about the municipal election, the candidates, who's running where, early voting, all that. If you missed any part of that, you can go back and check it out at your leisure. Or go to the City of Roswell's website. You're not going to see the candidates there, but you can see when early voting starts, when absentee ballot starts, when the election day is, where you can go to vote, all of that good stuff there. I covered all that in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll talk much more about it between now and March 1st, but just we been there, covered it earlier in the show today. It is 9:13. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have cold front on the way, so get ready for cooler temperatures by tomorrow. Today looks fairly mild, though. We'll be in the mid-60s, and we have high pressure overhead, so we'll get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, clear and chilly with lows in the upper 20s to low 30s, and then quite a bit cooler on Thursday. We keep the sunshine, but our highs should stay around 50, and then we're back to the 60s Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently still holding at 31 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds calm at the moment. For today, pretty pleasant. Sunny skies. Expect highs mid-60s, 65 officially. East winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. They'll later shift to the south this afternoon. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 30. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, tomorrow, it's going to be much cooler. We're going to drop about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Sunny, highs of only 53 tomorrow with north winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 24. South winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, back up into the mid-60s. Sunny skies, 65 for a high with south winds 5 to 10. Saturday, we're going to be even warmer, pushing 70. Sunny, highs near 70 on Saturday, and then back cold again on Sunday. Mostly sunny, highs back down into the low 50s, 53 on Sunday, and then we'll start at least the first part of next week in the low to mid 50s, 52 on Monday, 56 on Tuesday of next week. That's what at least what they're saying right now. All right, it is 9:15. Let's go ahead. We're going to take about a 4-minute commercial break. And then we'll have the folks from the Roswell Refuge join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
Once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Agger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Mays Lumber has all the hard-to-find hardwood you've been looking for. Oak, cherry, walnut, poplar, and maple. Plus, hard-to-find exotic woods like purple heart, zebra wood, ambrosia maple, black limba, and bloodwood. Perfect for that one-of-a-kind gift piece or table. Get ready with Formica and Wilson Art countertops in 12-footer custom length with installation available. Make it happen at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell, serving southeastern New Mexico and beyond since 1934.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than the average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second upload and download speed. With Faster, get true 500 meg. And with Fastest, get 16 gigs of download and upload speeds. Learn more at plateaufiber.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. More than 50% of Americans fall asleep on their sides. That's way better than falling asleep on someone else's side. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Refuge, Leslie Crow back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
And you've brought with you as well Valerie Ward. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? Let's move that mic just that way they can hear you just a little bit better. Perfect. Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How is 2022 starting for you guys here?
It's starting. I said we had a little rough start.
Yeah, unfortunately, it sounds like you lost a family member there, and that's very unfortunate. Yeah. And so
very sad.
Prayers out to everyone there.
Absolutely. She was the shelter manager.
And this just happened recently. Is there services planned yet, or has that all happened? Or?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
And we'll we'll definitely have something for her once we get everything organized. Her mother lives in Florida, so we're going to wait for her to get here. And
gotcha. And
kind of go from there.
So that's life, and this is it's you're not guaranteed the next day.
That's right.
You're just not, and I'm just thinking in my own personal world where I've lost both of my parents, and I lost one suddenly and one over an extended period, and neither one's pleasant. But I think the sudden ones, they hit you harder, quicker, and then you kind of, whereas at least the long term, you kind of have a chance to at least wrap your head around it and process. So sometimes these sudden losses like that, it hits hard and fast.
Well, just so unexpected.
Yeah.
She actually was, I guess it happened Saturday night, and she was leaving for California on a vacation Sunday.
Oh,
so
man.
everything was packed and
so she was ready for a good time. Oh, man.
Very just shocking when it happens sudden like that. So we would definitely prayers to everybody.
Absolutely. And
everyone she worked with, she was a big asset to our organization.
And I know,
absolutely.
I'm about to say everyone in the Roswell Refuge family are grieving this loss today. But at the same time, you're rallying together because now you have a big void to fill.
Yeah.
With, she was a valuable asset to the refuge, and the work doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
That doesn't stop. And I'm guessing you guys probably, because generally speaking, the holidays are a busy time for the refuge here, and I'm assuming 2021, 2022 holiday season wasn't any different in that regard.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
it pretty much the same. We stayed at our capacity. We're still at a 50%, maybe 60% capacity right now. Since the COVID has hit, of course,
NMDOH
and
regulations and all that stuff. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
We don't want to we don't want to use our rooms that share bathrooms, with 2 separate family members and that. So right now we're just using what we have available to place everybody in their own room, own bathroom.
Gotcha.
And
doing as best you can to keep social distanced and all that stuff. Yeah.
Still following all the protocols.
Yeah.
With the new variant out, we're seeing a big rise in sickness that way. But from what we've seen so far, it at least doesn't seem to be as bad of a.
I think hopefully we're at a point now where we're just worried more about getting a cold versus death or hospitalizations. Right. The vaccines have at least, I think, brought us to that level. But and we can have debates all day about masks and all that. That's another story for another day. We the rules say we got to wear them right now, so that's what we do.
Right.
But I think and what I've been hearing with Omicron, like you're saying, is this may in the long run be a good thing, because this is kind of maybe the beginning of the end of the COVID, where we're seeing
Hopefully,
the Omicron variants, where we're kind of like it's fizzling out a little bit, if that makes sense.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, so that's what we're experiencing
knock
here.
on wood.
But here's one thing I know that's a constant. Without the support and help of the community, the Roswell Refuge can't continue to help victims of domestic violence. Obviously, there's grants, there's things that funding that comes, but at the end of the day, you really couldn't do the job without people donating food, donating their time, donating donations, money, donating goods for the thrift store, the furniture, the clothing, all of that. Either if it doesn't help directly by actually providing clothing and furniture for victims of domestic violence, it provides by selling it back to the public and the community, where they make that little extra money. That money in turn goes back to programs, the light bill, whatever is needed to help the victims here. That's where that money goes. So.
Yeah, and I would like to definitely give a big thank you to all of the community that were very generous this year with contributions, money monetarily.
Good.
So we got a lot of really, really nice, generous donations in from a lot of members in the community.
And I'm guessing like some of the physical labor stuff, especially if it's indoors, probably has to be put on the back burner because of COVID right now.
Right.
I mean, maybe some yard work stuff is okay, but fixing up rooms and things, it's probably not.
And hopefully
really
we're going to be
now.
moving forward with that. We have remodeled some rooms last year and the year before, and we still need to remodel 5 of our rooms.
Okay.
We had a program several years back, if you remember, where we allowed businesses or people in the community to adopt a room.
Yeah.
And
that was a fun idea.
Remodel it with us, and I think we are looking to kind of implement that back.
I think
out into the community, if there's any business or any organization or even individuals that would like to do that, and then we put a plaque up outside of the room, the door, in recognition of that people, and certainly give them lots of thanks if they want it. Some people like to remain anonymous.
I think what we should do with that, and if COVID allows, and let's turn it into like an HGTV or a Trading Spaces style event.
Wouldn't that
where
be awesome?
Maybe get 2 entities competing and say, all right, you got this room, you got this room. You each get a designer or whatever, and you're like, all right, design your room, and then we'll have some arbitrary judges judge the best, and some prize that goes maybe back to the refuge as a charity to help out.
Awesome.
And some bragging rights. Just have some fun with it, because we can absolutely have fun with these things, and in turn, that's going to bring light and life and enjoyment to that home.
Yeah,
and
it is.
If there's a place in this community that needs as much joy in it as possible, and it is the refuge home, because you've got families coming in, tearing their lives, separating from that life, and starting a new one there. And they come with kids in tow. Generally speaking, that's about it. The clothes on their back and the kids in tow, and that's it. And they've got to reestablish that life. So creating fun and joy in a place that's probably a rough time for these individuals is starting them on the path to recovering and becoming on the path of the life that they want.
And we've had some really good help from the community, people in the community, different organizations and businesses when we were remodeling. this past year, the workers, the advocates, and Peggy, when she was with us, did a lot of painting themselves. They brought bright colors in and painted, kind of brightening the place up. And they're wonderful that they jump in and do that to make it better for everyone and makes them feel better working there as well.
Absolutely. So. And to be honest, when we're talking about the donations and all that goes so far towards that. Like, you look at the Christmas holiday we just had here. The home tries to make it just like Christmas at your home, with a tree and presents for everybody and cooking a family holiday meal, and that's what we replicate at the refuge. You want to make it a family home environment.
A little comfort, a little normalcy goes a long way. And
so Christmas, having the turkey, having the was that your phone? I was like, that was cool. I was like, oh, it's made it sound like I think it was planned. But first I was like, someone yelling over there, what's going on? But it really by folks donating pies and cakes and candies and stockings and toys for the kids, or a lot of times they'll say, hey, let's do spa day for some of the ladies there, and they'll go and get the hair done up and they get the nails painted and getting putting some invest time back into themselves, and all of that goes towards the healing process, goes towards one of the big things, and Leslie and I have talked about this. You're tearing down walls too, because victims of domestic violence by nature build the walls. They build their own self-defense so they can learn to cope in those environments. Well, you got to peel that onion off to get them healed, and so they're not going to be receptive generally. I mean, everyone's different, but generally speaking, they're not going to trust a gift horse in the mouth, so to speak. If it's too good to be true, more than likely it is, and that's the mindset they built to protect themselves.
It takes a lot. It
and
sure
so
does.
You have to peel that away a little bit. And so the thought of somebody, just complete stranger out of nowhere, saying, Merry Christmas. I hope this makes your life better. And that breaks away that wall a little bit and says, wait a minute, not everybody's like the people I've been encountering. There are people that generally love and care and want the best for everybody. I need to be more like those people. And so you're leading by example by there. You're really literally showing people how to love again.
Right.
And that's so much more powerful than sometimes even just the cupcake or whatever you're bringing.
Absolutely.
It's that message of, oh my God, there is humanity. Yeah. People do care about
and
me.
as individuals heal, so will the community itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So trust me, what you're doing is a godsend by helping out and doing that stuff. It much more than you think. So by the simple act of you just going to the store and buying a bunch of family-size shampoos and toothpaste or towels or any of that stuff and just dropping off at it's much more than that $10, $15, $20 you just spent on beauty products.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a life you're saving right there.
It is. And we're just so grateful for everything. A big shout out every year to Target. They just do such a wonderful job every year of donating full gift bags to us to make sure everybody has gifts to them. I think the Roswell Women's Club donated items again this year, which they do every year too. And I'm sure I'm forgetting others, but to everybody that has, it's so appreciated, and it does help us keep running. We couldn't do it without the community,
Absolutely.
like we say all the time, and
absolutely,
and that is a very true statement.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of this kind of stuff, the thrift store is it open and regular, or is there some restrictions on that because of COVID?
The thrift store's open Monday through Friday, back to the regular hours that we've been running, 9 to 2.
Okay.
We are taking donations. No clothing donations at the moment.
Okay.
But we are taking household item donations.
So if you got furniture or
anything like
small
that.
appliances, things like
Pots,
that.
pans.
Yeah. And all that stuff's
anything
super
like that.
helpful.
Absolutely.
Yes, and probably by February, I'd say we'll be ready to start taking some clothing donations.
Okay.
We got really inundated with a lot.
Okay.
But also then when COVID has come into play, it's just, we feel a little bit safer to kind of not take that.
Things that are good at transmitting germs and stuff easily. But stuffed toys and clothing are generally things that do that.
Right. So pretty soon that it'll be back to as normal as we'll get back to, I guess.
Good. Well, and trust me, and the thrift store and how this works, I kind of did earlier, but in case you missed that, when you donate items to the thrift store there, things like microwaves and pots and pans and cooking utensils and all the things that you have in your house, basically, toasters, ovens, and toasters, and all that, coffee pots, all that stuff. When the folks that kind of have done their time and they're ready to move on to their own place or wherever they're going to go next, again, like I said, they come in without the things on their back. So you guys help them by saying, all right, you're free now. Good luck to you. That's not how it works.
Right.
They help set you up on whatever you want to do next, whether it's pursue a career or go back to school or go to a different family, whatever that transition to next is. You guys help them by saying, all right, well, you're going to need some furniture. Yes. You're going to need some clothing. You're going to need toiletries, some bedding. Yeah. These things go with you to wherever your apartment is or wherever you're going to next. Now, that way, you're not going to an empty room. You've got a bed to sleep in. You've got a pair of pants to change into. You got a coffee pot and a microwave to cook a meal in. You have something. So when you donate those items, first off, if there's residents that are ready to move out, they get to, in essence, go on a little shopping spree. Like, do you need a new coffee pot? Do you need a hair dryer? Do you need, what are these things you need? Let's see what we can get here. And it's free of charge. It's theirs for them to use.
Always free, absolutely. For all of our
and then vice versa, you help other organizations. Like if other organizations have like some homeless folks or something, hey, you let them come over and need help, or vice versa. Hey, they got clothing or something, our folks can go over there and get some help too.
We work really closely with the Homeless Coalition and CYFD.
Yeah, and then
for, whatever they need.
Absolutely.
As well.
And then after all of that, if there's like, oh, we still got these beds, now you, the public, can come and say, oh man, I can get that bed for pennies on the dollar here. I'll take that. You pay cash for it, walk out with a great bed, and that cash goes back to help these victims in various ways. Oh, we need to go buy food, or we need to pay the light bill, or pay the light bill, or whatever it is. That's what we're going to do.
All the money that is spent in the thrift store stays right there with the refuge.
So,
and
so if you're donating there, you're really helping people right here locally.
And if people feel very strongly about they want to donate specifically just to the shelter itself and not have us sell their items,
sure,
we certainly
those arrangements
appreciate
can be
that
made.
and do that as well.
Absolutely,
that's a personal choice, and we do have quite a few people that
want to make sure that it goes
to
someone.
They donate a lot of women's clothing. They want to be used strictly for the shelter, and that's fine.
Another thing I want to that's part of the Roswell Refuge umbrella, so to speak, here, as far as helping people and things like that. Like, we're talking about all the domestic violence victims here, which they do amazing things, but they also partner with the same program, and these are individuals that help victims of sexual assault.
Yes.
They medically and emotionally, whatever it is, they help them with that. It's basically if someone is a victim of sexual assault, these are the folks that come in and make sure they're okay medically. If the person would like to press charges and pursue that, they will collect the evidence needed to prosecute.
And appear in court in many cases.
Yes.
Kim Hansen, who runs the same program here, is amazing, number one, but, is definitely an expert and is called at the state level, and I believe
people,
the national level to speak. And
her and people like her are so appreciated in this community because they do a job that, let's face it, they got to have their mental game on right, because they see and hear a lot of bad things. And
we say that all the time.
And when you get surrounded with it,
God bless her, because we could never do what she does, and in the way she does it, she's just amazing, and her team,
absolutely,
all of her team.
But it's just human nature. If you're constantly berated with bad things, that's gonna warp your brain a little bit. And for her to be able to keep helping people and to see the darkest of people and bring light out of that is such a blessing that we have someone like that. So her and her staff and people who help her,
they're wonderful.
So by supporting the refuge things, you're also supporting the same program too. And also you work with the offenders as well. That's the other side I want to, I mean, we do live in an age where everyone wants to be a victim, and you kind of, all right, there's some debate there, but most of the time an abuser is a victim themselves, in which domestic violence is very much a cycle. It's learned behavior. People that are abusers, odds are pretty good they were abused themselves
or witnessed it or lived through it in some way.
And so that's the only tools they got in the tool belt. And not that and so not that I'm justifying what they do, because that's not what we're here. But if you don't know any better and someone's saying you're doing it wrong and you're like, well, I want to do it right, but I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, you gotta
you have to have the tools. You need the training.
And you don't even know a lot of times, especially if it isn't physical abuse.
Yeah.
The person doesn't even have a clue that what they're doing is actually
they don't realize it's like, well, I
abuse.
I was raised that way and I turned out fine,
Right.
therefore it's good for, you know what I mean? There's that
we
ideology.
see that a lot, and I really I believe so much in our offender program. It's such a good program. It offers so many tools and learning lessons and guidelines, and if you really come in with an open mind, I mean, 99% of the people that have to come are ordered through the courts.
It's their last chance before they're going to see
they're
serious
pretty
time.
angry. They definitely all say they don't
Defensive.
belong there.
Yeah.
And
which
they
again is a
really-
natural human
right.
response.
And if they work the program, we just see it so many times. We'll hear that from so many people after they get a little bit into it. Like, I really didn't even know that was abuse.
Sure.
The
just walls come down.
The calling names or the being ugly.
Honestly, I've sat in on that program a few times, and the time period was sprawled out a little bit, and I could see the growth.
Sure, see the difference in the people.
clients.
So like you saw them
Absolutely.
at like an earlier meeting, and they're very defensive. You see them a couple months
I
later,
saw
and you're like,
some
oh wow,
absolute growth.
they've made
yeah,
headway.
and I believe that's the key to prevention, and that can.
What?
You have to work
the
both
prevention
sides of
is the
it.
key.
And we as human beings, if you're not growing every day, you're really not doing humankind a service here. We all should be bettering ourselves every day. And in little, I mean, no, we don't have to do earth shattering every day, but these are people that, and you know what? They're probably going to be huge advocates for against domestic violence when it's all said and done,
Right.
because
we have some really, really big successful
they wear
people
the
that
shoes.
have come out of our program, and
both shoes. They wore the abuser shoes. They wore the abusee shoes, and they have a unique perspective there sometimes. So they can really be the ones that maybe break open the issues in domestic violence.
And we really welcome somebody that's gone through the program and that has stayed out of that, that cycle and has actually broken it after a couple of years to come back and even work with us and become a facilitator for the program.
They're
going to
be the strongest fighters for it.
Absolutely.
Excellent example of you don't have to remain in the same situation day after day. You
Absolutely.
have opportunities to change.
And there's always a big controversy really at the state level and federal level about just two different mindsets where, there's a big push towards thinking that the domestic violence offender programs don't work. And they try to cut funding every year. And
How could it not?
funding for it is so much less than the funding for the victim side that we struggle really to keep those programs going.
To me, that's how you fix it.
Well, that's all of our
long-term
process too.
Because
but-
otherwise, you're just putting Band-Aids on the problem for the rest of your
right.
life. If you don't do something about it now, you're going to continue. Now, I got to be honest. If you want a chance of ever having to shut the refuge down because it's not needed anymore, that's where it's going to have to fix is that offender
and it's
program.
really
Is that-
frustrating every year when that comes up, in the legislation. And I have to say we have some very good lobbyists and advocates and legislators that fight for that every year. But it goes all the way up to the federal level, we really don't think that those programs work and offender programs work. Well, of course they work. They work if the person works them. And
Well,
it might take a couple of times. We certainly have people that come through our program more than once.
Yeah. What it needs to do, and it's kind of, I say the same thing for mental health. Domestic violence and mental health need to do the same thing. They need to, in essence, turn it into the Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness type level of funding.
Absolutely.
Where, I mean, breast cancer awareness, that's a great thing and all that, but mental health and domestic violence both need to get that kind of treatment. Let's do the runs, the walks, raising bazillions of dollars each year for it, because
the awareness.
Yeah, because I personally think if we could crack that nut in mental health, we're going to see a lot of other problems just not be
and
problems
mental
anymore,
health and drug addiction and mental health certainly go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And
I would even argue gun violence,
all the
domestic violence, all the things we're looking at our world is like, what a kind of awful world we live in. Yeah. I think with some mental health and throwing that kind of money into it, guess what? A lot of those problems, remember, that was the thing. Now we understand what we're doing now and know how
our
to
mental
do it.
health here in Roswell especially is just so limited. We just don't have the
resources,
the
of funding,
the funding, the doctors, the counselors. We just don't have that many, and we have no facilities that I know. I don't think we have any facility left, like an live-in facility for mental health at this time that I know of.
They have the rehab and other stuff, but yeah, nothing. Everything's all.
And it sure does all go hand in hand. We're hoping maybe this year, if not by next year, to get some extra funding to be able to actually find an on-site counselor that we would be able to have on staff, at least part-time. And I think that would help. That would just be such a big blessing.
Yeah. And I mean, our legislators and things like, sure, I love parks and things as much as the next person, but do we really need another park, or should we take that money and let's big time invest in our mental health and our domestic, invest in these things, and let's see if we can actually make dents in them. And then we'll worry about the parks.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
And we go every year to Santa Fe for legislative sessions as a group, as a coalition against domestic violence, and pretty strong people are part of that have some strong voices up there.
Good deal. Well, hopefully headway's being made, and we might have to do a kicking and screaming, and maybe, just maybe, that's our blessing in disguise is COVID and all this stuff is raising the awareness for, hey, we're handling this poorly. Maybe we need to look at ourselves and see what we're doing here and fix it.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing the best in humanity, but we're also seeing the worst in humanity. All this. I know we do see a lot of positive stories in the news about families coming together, and that's
I think
awesome.
It has brought people together and a bigger awareness with, so many people have lost so many family members, and I think that's helped, people just become a little bit more compassionate maybe and aware, and hopefully we'll continue moving forward in that. And like I said, our community here is very good to us and generous. We appreciate that. Fundraising is a huge part of our thing as well. So we haven't been able to have our big fundraisers the last 2 years.
The same dance has been kind of on hiatus.
The 70s dance. We hopefully, if we can, in April, if it looks like we can do that, we're gonna have a fun fundraiser coming up, where we're going to sell some raffle tickets.
Unpack the bell bottoms here and get them handy for the spring, maybe.
It's going to be put together pretty quickly, though, once we decide come March if we're going to be able to have it in April.
Well, let us know.
We'll throw it together. But
as soon as you know one way or another, let us know. We'll get the word out.
And I think somebody's donated a cow to us.
A cow?
A cow to process. So we're going to do a raffle.
Like it's a pet?
A pet cow. That's what Valerie said. She goes, like a real cow? So
you got a side of beef.
Yes. So we'll get. I was going to get with the person today that I think is donating that to us.
That's
and
great.
Then we'll start selling raffle tickets out in the community. And
seen the price of beef at the stores right now? I'll take a side of beef.
And we pay for the processing.
Good deal.
Of it
so all
for
you got to do is
wins.
have the freezer space to put it in.
Yeah, or split it with somebody,
or get some friends. Yeah.
But those seem to do well. We haven't done one of those in about 5 years now.
Good.
So
So that'll be a raffle, and then you can kind of.
Hopefully we'll get raffle tickets out.
Good. That's something you can do in
the
COVID.
community and start selling them. And
good deal.
I'll probably know about that in a week or so.
And of course, like we said, with the fact that these fundraising events can happen now more than ever, your generosity is much needed and much wanted. So don't stop cutting those checks and bringing them to the refuge, or don't stop swinging by the grocery store and picking up extra goods, or going and picking up. And if you like to donate, like health and beauty products, think family size items. The travel stuff's great, but it doesn't help the refuge as much. So grab those family size shampoo bottles and soap dispense, body washes and whatnot, things like that. Linens are always in demand.
Pajamas.
Towels, bedding, underwear, pajamas, that kind of stuff's always in demand. And when you think of foods too, like they're kind of weird on donations and things. Like they can't go out and purchase like candy and stuff. You can buy some ingredients, like they can't buy a cake, but they can buy the flour.
We're kind of
and the
restricted
sugar.
through our funding on certain food products
so
we can buy.
So if you'd like to but they can accept them as donations.
Right.
So if you're like, okay, I know you can't go out and buy a bunch of M&Ms or something, but the world's a better place with M&Ms.
Right.
Here's 70 family size bags of M&Ms. You know what I mean?
And always canned goods.
Yeah.
We can always use canned goods, non-perishables, things like that.
And then when it comes to the perishable stuff, call ahead, because I know you guys have the commercial kitchen and freezer space. So depending, as long as it's been professionally processed and things, you guys can handle some of that, but that's a case by case. Call ahead and talk to the staff there about
right.
that. Okay.
But, yeah, we're definitely. I think one thing that I did hear we're in a little bit of need of is some laundry detergent and laundry soap. So
okay. Is there a preference, like the powders, liquids, or any of
with
that?
our new washers? I don't think that the powders are very good. We used to get really large, generous donations of boxes and boxes of powder, but since we've gone to the new washers, it's kind of recommended to use liquid.
So either that or those the little drop-in tabs, or the pot. Don't eat them, but put them in your one.
Don't let your kids eat the pods either.
Yeah, that's another point. Like, are we living in a society you got to tell people not to eat
the laundry detergent?
I mean, I get it, but at some point, you're like, all right, if we got to tell you, maybe you got bigger fish to fry here. It's. I saw a story yesterday. I don't want to share it because I'm just looking sensitive if I do it. But there was a story in the news yesterday. And I was like, really? We got to tell people not to do that? Come on. But anyway.
It's a little surprising sometimes.
It is.
Things you have to post on walls not to do or what. I'm like, that shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to 2022.
Yeah, absolutely.
One more thing before we go, I want to ask and have you do is. Of course, if you are a victim or if you suspect something's going on, the Roswell Refuge has a 24/7 hotline for you to call, day, night, Christmas, 2 in the morning, 2 in the night. It doesn't matter. 24/7, someone will answer this phone. And this is for anyone that wants to talk. If you are a victim and you're going through something and you just need an ear to bend, it's there for you. If you're ready to break away from the situation you're currently in, they'll help you do that. But if you just want to talk, there's no obligations, no anonymity. All of that is part of this. It's just a resource for you. And likewise, if you're thinking, all right, I'm seeing something going on, I'm not really sure what to do about it, I have questions, call this hotline, they'll give you advice. But the worst thing you can do if you suspect something is to do nothing. I know people see something that's like, well, it's not my business, and and I get that. I understand people, but when it comes to suspicion of domestic violence, that's not an excuse anymore. That's if you think something's not right there, go with your gut and do something about it. Report it to somebody. Talk to someone. Like you said, if you don't know what to do, this is what this hotline's for.
Right.
Call it. Say, hey, what's the proper channels here? How do I handle this? Yeah. And they'll talk to you step by step on what you need to do.
Yeah. And anybody that is looking to come into shelter, I think has maybe a thought of how secure is it? How safe will I be? And, it's extremely safe.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is confidential. We are not we are protected federally against even having to tell police, court, anything, who's in shelter and who isn't.
You are a protector for these victims.
Nobody can come up to the window or call and say, is so-and-so there? It just absolutely wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
If it happens, somebody will be fired. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That we take confidentiality.
Yeah, that is job one.
Number one of our job.
Your safety and security is priority one.
That is absolutely number one.
If you're looking for a place safe because you're fearing for your life, the refuge is in fact that safe place. Yeah. So use it there. And then but give out, what's that number for that hotline?
575-627-8361.
And again, that's available to you 24/7. Anytime you want to call.
Every day of the year.
Every day of the year, that someone will answer that phone and help you. Now, if you've got business with the refuge, you're like, hey, I heard you on the radio, I'd like to donate some soap. How do I do that? Don't call that number. Call the office number instead, which is the number Leslie's got here.
And it's 575-624-3222.
Yeah.
And our administrative offices are at 1215 North Garden. That's also where the offender program is located, as well as if you need to do a restraining order on somebody.
Okay. Any of the legal stuff.
Come to that location, and our thrift store is there as well.
They're on site as well too. So if you want to do a little shopping or
now,
if like I said, if it's big items, please call ahead and make arrangements.
Because we don't always have room.
Is Kay still running the show over there? So Kay's very meticulous about what to have, and she's a good steward of all that stuff. But she can only make so much lemonade out of lemons here. So if it's like a big bed or something that really is going to take a lot of space.
We try to take everything we can, absolutely,
But what might happen is like, we would love the bed, but can you hold it a couple weeks till we have a little more space?
And we don't have a way to pick items up. That we get calls a lot on that.
Yeah.
I've got all this stuff. Can you pick it up? And unfortunately, we don't have any way to pick things up. But if you can bring it to us or get it to us, we'll make room and we'll find something.
Or maybe there's someone listening and you're thinking, I'd like a way to give back in the community. Volunteer. Say, hey, I'll be, you got people that need stuff picked up, call me and I'll go get it for them. If you've got the wherewithal to do that and would love to help, that would be a huge asset to the Roswell Refuge. And that's something simple. You're like, well, how do I get involved? I'm not good at, fine. Can you you have a pickup truck, you can drive it, go pick up some furniture and drop it off for them. And you just saved a life. And that's what we're talking about here. It's little work.
That'd be wonderful.
Many hands, little work.
No generosity is too small.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. And that's why it doesn't go unnoticed or underappreciated. So your random acts of kindness, no matter how small, are always a good thing and always appreciated. So keep doing that, because the more people that do that, the less bad stuff that happens.
Yeah, that is.
Kill them with kindness. You ever heard that saying? That's exactly what you do.
And even gift cards, to Walmart, Target, anywhere. If somebody drops off gift cards, we make sure we go give those directly straight to our clients in shelter. And that helps them a lot too. That way they're able to get what they really need. And
absolutely.
So anything, take $1.
Absolutely.
We're
good. Every little bit helps.
It does.
Well, thank you, ladies. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you
Is there
so much.
anything we missed that we wanted to cover? Did we get it all?
So I think we did everything.
Good deal. We'll see you here next month. And then, of course, as we finalize plans for spring and dancing and stuff, let us know and we'll get the word out there.
I will definitely do that and give you a little buzz when I know about the raffle for the cow.
Very good. And folks, and like I said, if you need help, call that number. Reach out.
Absolutely.
It's there to help you. I know for many people and for folks that don't understand why victims are victims, please just understand that you don't know what you're talking about and just kind of let it because that's part of what the problem with domestic violence. Why don't you just leave if you don't get it? It's a control thing. Right. It's a whole and they're really breaking away from their life. They're not breaking away from their abuser. They're breaking away from their entire life.
Well, and it's something that certainly happens over a progressive time. It's not one day this has happened and the next day that's happened.
Exactly.
I mean, that just doesn't happen that way.
And
everybody can please follow us on Facebook too and like our page.
Absolutely.
We put a lot of information out there. We try to. And
it's under Roswell Refuge.
It's just Roswell Refuge.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So.
And let's put them out of a job. I want to put you out of a job.
I would love to be out of a job. I would love to be out of a job. Absolutely.
So. I hope you get paid or not, but this job you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
So, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time. Okay.
All right.
Yes, take care. It is 9:55. Let's go ahead and do some news and a quick break before we go. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia Police Department is inviting the public to the city's public library on January 14th for Nerf Wars. The Artesia Police Department will be there Friday, January 14th, to participate in a Nerf battle with any Artesia students grades 6 through 12. Nerf guns will be provided by the library staff. Anyone invited to attend the fun event from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Also at the Artesia Police Department, Sergeant David Bailey has been promoted to Sergeant of Patrol. A ceremony was held just before the holidays. Bailey reportedly went through a rigorous assessment and was selected by the points he accumulated throughout the entire testing process. The state's largest electric utility is appealing a recent decision by regulators to reject a proposed merger with the U.S. subsidiary of global energy giant Iberdrola. PNM Resources announced it filed its notice of appeal with the New Mexico Supreme Court this week. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Road trips were the order of the day for the big school basketball teams from our area that were in action last night, and really none of them turned out well. The best showing was the Roswell boys losing narrowly at Lovington 52-50. Roswell actually led by 8 early in the fourth quarter, still led 50-46 before Lovington rattled off the last 3 buckets of the game. Jason Lackey had 10, Josh Estrada 10. Emiliano Boria had 9 for the Coyotes. Meanwhile, this was not nearly as good. The Goddard Rockets playing at Hobbs. Hobbs won that one 85-37. And the Roswell girls were in action on the road as well, losing at Portales. The Rams win that one 52-34. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. A troubled Chinese real estate developer with $310 billion of debt is asking investors in one of its bonds to postpone when they will be repaid.
Evergrande Group says it'll conduct a 3-day online vote starting Friday for holders of the $700 million bond. Evergrande is the global real estate industry's most indebted company. Evergrande struggled to avoid defaults while it tries to comply with tighter official limits on borrowing by China's real estate industry has prompted fears of a financial crisis.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Chrysler plans to go all electric by 2028. It's the latest automaker to announce a shift away from gasoline-powered engines. The company says it will launch its first electric vehicle by 2025. With the SRN News Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? We could romance the legal copy. It never gets the attention it deserves. And some lawyer worked real hard on it. So take it away, lawyer.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Now that was some beautiful legal. Well done, lawyer. Well done.
I know you've been waiting a little bit longer than normal.
Jen's manicure spot needs an extra pair of hands.
Who's at the front desk right now?
Someone who's handy with everything from nail files to spreadsheet files.
Deirdre's not coming in today, but we have that whole bachelorette party.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.